Chapter 742. Wamale didn't believe that she would be so serious. The look in her eyes just now said it all. Just when the two of them were done talking, Di Haotian said, "Wait." Wamale was stunned and looked over. "You and Ju stay here to take care of the child. I'm going on a date with Bao," Di Haotian said calmly. Wamale was speechless. Tang Bao was speechless. "Wait, when did I say that I want to go on a date with you? I have the final say." Di Haotian didn't change his domineering style. "You can leave when we're back. The child can't go to bed too late. She must go to bed before 9 o'clock. What he meant was that they definitely wouldn't be back before 9 o'clock. Wamale thought to herself, "Young master, you really know how to use people. But I didn't dare to refuse and was willing to take care of the child for you. This was definitely the result of being pressured." "I'm not going." Tang Bao refused immediately. Who wanted to go on a date with him? "No way." "Are you sure?" Di Haotian stood up and walked towards Tang Bao. Tang Bao shivered. She put down the cup in her hand and stood up to leave. "Where are you going?" Di Haotian was dignified. "Don't you need to bring your wallet when you go out?" Tang Bao was a little timid and replied unhappily. Di Haotian's dark eyes were deep. He went forward and grabbed her slender wrist and walked towards the door. "You don't need to pay." Then he pulled her out. Wamale looked at him with stars in her eyes. The man who pays for the woman is so handsome. Tang Bao, who was pulled downstairs, felt that her legs were constantly resisting. She just didn't want to go, but she couldn't get rid of Di Haotian. "Di Haotian, don't you see that people are pointing at us when we go out? How can two men go on a date?" Tang Bao's skin was not as thick as Di Haotian's. Indeed, Di Haotian looked up and down at Tang Bao's small trousers and shirt. Then he said, "Let's go." After driving for almost half an hour, Di Haotian brought Tang Bao into the women's clothing store. She stared blankly at the women's clothing store that she had not visited in 3 years. To be exact, this brand stunned her. This was the Ling brand that Di Haotian had given her back then. Every time she accidentally passed by a store, her heart would churn for a while. Even if she saw a famous celebrity wearing it, her emotions would change. "I don't want to wear it." Tang Bao turned around and walked away. However, her arm was clamped down by Di Haotian, who refused to let her go. Di Haotian casually pointed at 2 pieces, and the shop assistant immediately brought them over. Di Haotian took it and led Tang Bao into the walk-in closet. Ling was indeed a big brand. The walk-in closet inside was very big. There were mirrors on all 4 sides, and one could see how they looked in the clothes at 365 degrees. There were several Di Haotian and Tang Bao in one go. "You're not really asking me to change into women's clothes, are you?" Tang Bao asked. She had not worn women's clothes for 3 years. Di Haotian approached and pressed Tang Bao against the mirror with an aggressive aura. "If you don't want to change, your husband will do it for you." Tang Bao wished that she could disappear on the spot. However, she was pressed against Di Haotian's airtight body. She could not do it at all. The close distance and Di Haotian's domineering words made her blush. What kind of joke was this? She wanted him to do it for her? However, if she did not wear the women's clothes next to her, there was no doubt that Di Haotian would definitely find a way to make her wear them. She knew too well how bad Di Haotian could be. "You can go out first. I'll change on my own." Di Haotian chuckled and pinched her chin. He lifted her and kissed her red lips before letting go of her. "I'll wait for you outside." After that, he opened the door and went out. Tang Bao heaved a sigh of relief. To be honest, if Di Haotian was here, she would definitely have the fate of wearing women's clothes in the end. She did not expect that he would be so kind as to let her go. Was this person really on a date? Di Haotian stood outside the door and leaned against it. His lazy and tall figure was very attractive. When he narrowed his dark eyes, there was a sense of sharpness. If he stayed inside and watched Tang Bao change, he would definitely not be able to resist the urge to eat her up. And it would be the kind that could not be stopped once he ate her up. Then, wouldn't the date be canceled? Although eating Tang Bao would be more exciting, it was better to go on a date first. It seemed that this kind of feeling was not bad. Tang Bao changed into a white dress inside and did not go out immediately. Instead, she looked at herself in the mirror. She had not worn it for 3 years. The door of the fitting room was pushed open. Tang Bao saw Di Haoyan's tall figure in the mirror. Tang Bao could not help but frown. Why did he come in again? Fortunately, she was already dressed. Di Haoyan walked forward and put the thing in his hand on Tang Bao's head. It was long hair that could pass for real. When Tang Bao saw herself in the mirror, she was stunned. It made her feel like she was in a trance. Di Haoyan put his arm around her waist and pulled her close to him. His chiseled face was right next to her stunned face. His voice was low and hoarse. "How is this?" Tang Bao's eyes flashed, and she looked away. She was a little embarrassed. "It's okay." Di Haoyan hooked her chin and pulled her back. His thin lips kissed her. Tang Bao's body and mind were trembling, but she could not push Di Haoyan away and break the delicate atmosphere. The salesperson outside. "That tall man went in again, and he hasn't come out for so long. What do you think is their relationship?" "Do you still need to ask?" "It must be that kind of relationship. And I think that man has a fetish for cross-dressing." Just now, the girl was unwilling to wear it and was dragged in by the man. "That's right. If they go out on dates like this, people will not look at them strangely." "Oh my God, why do they have to do this? Is it really like what the internet says, that all handsome men have boyfriends?" As they were talking, they heard the sound of the door opening. They immediately stopped talking and stood there with professional ethics. Tang Bao walked out with her head lowered. She could not hide the suspicious blush on her face. That mesmerizing beauty made the salesperson's eyes worth it. If they were men, they would definitely be mesmerized and turn gay. Who would have thought that a man would become so beautiful when he wore women's clothes? It was too unreasonable. Tang Bao walked out directly. Anyway, she did not bring her wallet, so Di Haoyan paid for her. It was only after she walked out that the gazes that were staring at her disappeared. Why was she still being stared at so strangely, even though she had changed into women's clothes? They must have thought that she was a man dressed as a woman. What a sin. After getting into the car, Tang Bao saw Di Haoyan's hand in the air and asked, "Where's my men's clothes?" "I threw them away." Tang Bao quickly stood up to get out of the car to get them. What kind of joke was this? Why did he throw her clothes away? However, she felt a grip on her wrist and was pulled over. Tang Bao lost her balance and fell onto Di Haoyan's sturdy body. "Ah!" Tang Bao screamed. "What are you doing? I don't want the clothes anymore." Chapter 743. I didn't buy it again. Tang Bao cursed angrily in her heart. "Did you buy it for free? Did you think I was asking you for money to buy clothes?" Well, Di Haoyan definitely wouldn't have any objections if she asked him for money. He might even give her more. She knew that Di Haoyan was extremely rich, but it had nothing to do with her. She didn't want to spend Di Haoyan's money. She had her dignity, the dignity of a man and a woman. But in the end, no matter how much Tang Bao struggled, Di Haoyan wouldn't let her get out of the car. When the car started moving, Tang Bao couldn't struggle anymore. She couldn't jump out of the car. She was so angry. Di Haoyan looked at her red face and thought that it was cute and charming. He leaned forward with his upper body charmingly. "Bao, you're too far away from me." Tang Bao looked at the distance between her and Di Haoyan. Their knees were at most 20 centimeters apart. Was that considered far? If she could, she wanted to drive herself. No, if she could drive herself, would she still need to come? What human rights did she have in front of Di Haoyan? Tang Bao said angrily, "No matter how far we are, we're still in the same car. Come here." As soon as Di Haoyan finished speaking, Tang Bao was dragged over. It was as if she immediately went over when Di Haoyan asked her to. "Can't you just sit still?" Tang Bao felt that she had bumped into him. This feeling was very old. She was also blushing. "Aren't I sitting still? Or do you want to do something? If you really want to do something, you won't have the energy to go on a date. But if you want to go on a date in bed, I'll try my best to cooperate." Di Haoyan narrowed his dark eyes. They were narrow and dangerous. A date is a date. Don't mess around. I had no choice last time. There won't be a next time. Am I sitting here properly? I'm sitting on your lap. Tang Bao gritted her teeth. "Is there a problem?" Tang Bao glared at him. "Don't stare at me like that. I won't be able to control myself," Di Haoyan said in a low voice. Tang Bao's gaze trembled, and he stopped glaring. She did not dare to confirm Di Haoyan's words. He was capable of doing anything, especially perverted. Tang Bao could only resign himself to his fate and sit on his sturdy lap, looking out of the car window. Do you know how to date? Di Haoyan looked at her little face in women's clothing. Under the light, it was white and translucent. It made his heart itch, and he wanted to bite it directly. His teeth marks his saliva. That would be an extremely charming, cute, and innocent look. Isn't it just a meal and a movie? Tang Bao said without much interest. Just one more. What? Tang Bao thought. Was there a dating method that she didn't know? Get a room. Tang Bao immediately looked at him warily. Don't you have a room to sleep at home? You don't have to save money for me. I need to save money. I'm afraid that when you're old, you won't have any money to spend. Tang Bao said through gritted teeth. Then you can take care of me. I don't have money. Tang Bao refused. I'm very easy to take care of. As long as I eat you, I won't starve to death. After that, Di Haoyan bit Tang Bao's face hard. Tang Bao trembled all over. She immediately turned away and covered her face with her hands. She glared at him. Why? Do you want to bite me? Do you think I'm afraid of you? Other people might not dare to, but she did. She opened her mouth and bit Di Haoyan's shoulder. Di Haoyan groaned deeply. He felt a little pain from a bite. His big palm clasped Tang Bao's head, and his thin lips were close to her ear as he whispered, "Little wolf puppy." Tang Bao's body froze. She was stunned. Her face, which was buried in Di Haoyan's chest, froze. Her eyes were misty, and she was in disbelief. The teeth that were biting his flesh loosened. There was a sudden discomfort, but it was not as shocking as Di Haoyan's nickname. Tang Bao calmed herself down and was about to raise her head, but Di Haoyan's big palm held her down. She could not get up. Don't move. That's all. Tang Bao rested her face on Di Haoyan's chest. There was a moment of silence in the space. She could only hear Di Haoyan's strong but unstable heartbeat. Tang Bao thought of all the things that happened in the past, and her eyes could not help but water. She was afraid that Di Haoyan would find out, so she simply closed her eyes and did not think about it. She had already chosen to give up. Why would she lose control of herself because of Di Haoyan's possessive behavior? Tang Bao stood in front of the huge amusement park and asked, Di Haoyan, did you bring the wrong person? Are you sure you didn't bring the 2 babies here? Di Haoyan took her hand and walked inside. In the depths of the amusement park, there was actually a huge ice skating rink. The entire ice skating rink was as bright as day. There were only the 2 of them in such a huge ice skating rink. Tang Bao was a little dumbfounded. You're not taking me skating, are you? I don't know how to. I'm leaving. Eating and watching a movie? Di Haoyan really knew how to indulge in whimsical fantasies. Di Haoyan put his arm around her waist. I'll teach you. Tang Bao was stunned by Di Haoyan's words. While she was stunned, Di Haoyan squatted down to help her change her skates. He held her feet and stuffed them into the shoes. Tang Bao felt her heart tighten a little. Di Haoyan's posture made it seem like he was willing to be her knight and guardian. She could have changed her skates by herself. Why did he have to go to this extent? After changing her skates, Di Haoyan stood up. Tang Bao looked a little uncomfortable. Di Haoyan, you know how to skate? Yes. Tang Bao asked in her heart. Why didn't she know? After thinking about it again, she realized that it made sense. She had left Di Haoyan for 3 years. How could she know everything about Di Haoyan? He seemed to be very familiar with it. Could it be that he had dated a woman before? When Tang Bao thought of this possibility, she suddenly felt uncomfortable. What's wrong? Di Haoyan noticed her expression and thought that she was afraid. Don't be afraid. I'll hold you. I'm not afraid. I just don't want to play this game with you. Di Haoyan, who had changed his skates, directly picked up Tang Bao, went to the skating rink, and skated out. Tang Bao was so scared that her hands instinctively clung tightly to Di Haoyan's broad shoulders. Her eyes were closed. Then, when she felt that the 2 of them were not falling, she slowly opened her eyes. She met Di Haoyan's dark eyes, which had a deep smile on them. Tang Bao turned her head to look down. Di Hao Yin had already skated to the center of the skating rink. Therefore, she clung even tighter to Di Hao Yin's hands. You don't dare to come down? Di Hao Yin asked. Tang Bao thought to herself. Am I being looked down upon? Who said that I don't dare to come down? Let go of me. Di Hao Yin put her down. As soon as Tang Bao's feet touched the ground, she immediately lost her balance and slipped. Instinctively, she quickly grabbed Di Hao Yin and hugged him with her whole body. Only then could she stand steadily. It was too slippery. She couldn't rely on herself. If she let go of Di Hao Yin, she would definitely fall very badly. Tang Bao's face was red. She looked up and met Di Hao Yin's dark eyes, which were full of ridicule. Chapter 744. Yes, Di Hao Yin's honesty almost made Tang Bao choke on her breath. This was great. Di Hao Yin didn't have to hug her. She was already taking the initiative, sticking to Di Hao Yin and not letting go. If this wasn't intentional, then what was? I'll take you. Di Hao Yin grabbed her wrist and tried to pull her along. Tang Bao was very nervous. She bit her lip, blushed, and followed Di Hao Yin's footsteps. Fortunately, she slid out, and her speed was not bad. Of course, this was because Di Hao Yin was holding her steady. Otherwise, she would have fallen directly. Feeling Di Hao Yin was about to let go, she screamed in fright. When he let go, Tang Bao slid forward. She didn't fall? No way. I slipped. I'm a genius. Before she could finish her words, she leaned back unsteadily. Just when she thought she was going to fall on her, but Di Hao Yin's long arm hooked over and directly rescued Tang Bao from falling to the ground. He pulled her into his arms. Tang Bao's body directly pressed against Di Hao Yin's face. When one survived a disaster, it was always impossible to guard against one's state of mind. It was as if some kind of emotion had suddenly drilled into one's heart, making her stunned. Di Hao Yin's dark eyes moved. He picked her up like a princess and spun her around on the spot. The sky was spinning. Everything was spinning. Only Di Hao Yin's face, which was looking down at her from above, was always in front of her. The wind blew past her ears, messing up her hair and confusing her eyes, but she was unwilling to close her eyes. Tang Bao thought this was really interesting. Her body relaxed, and she couldn't help but laugh. She knew that Di Hao Yin's eyes were locked on her, but she still couldn't stop laughing. It was as if she didn't want to know whether this person was dangerous or safe. Mengshi was bored staying at home. He felt bored reading the script, and his mind kept thinking of his first love. Therefore, he ran out alone, fully armed, to take a breather and ease his heartbreak. He didn't really want to go to the bar. It was messy and didn't suit his current mood. Somehow, the car drove into the periphery of an amusement park. The car stopped, and he jumped in through the small path. He found that there was no one inside, but the lights were so bright that it was as bright as day. As a superstar, she loved it when a certain place was empty. Otherwise, it would be easy to be recognized. If there was no one around, would he be able to relax and play? But it's still early. Why is it closed? He walked to the skating rink, but his footsteps paused. It wasn't like there wasn't anyone around. Couple? The tall man in the skating rink was holding the girl and spinning on the spot. His white skirt was fluttering in the wind. It was beautiful and fairy-like. The man looked at the girl intently, as if the girl in his arms was the only thing in his world. Then he slowly stopped spinning and put the girl down. The girl seemed to be a little dizzy and fell into the man's arms. The man took the opportunity to lift her face and kiss her. The feeling and scene were even more beautiful than on TV. She snorted. It was obvious that they were in the honeymoon period. When the honeymoon period was over, they would definitely not be so in love. Just as She was about to leave again, his footsteps suddenly stopped, and he turned to look at the man in the skating rink. Why did he feel that he was so familiar? She walked into the skating rink and approached the couple who were kissing. Excuse me. Di Hao Yin's thin lips rubbed against Tang Bao's little mouth before shooting a sharp gaze at Shi. Tang Bao was still panting, but Shi's voice made her body stiffen. She quickly turned her face to the other side, not wanting Shi to see her. Meng, she looked at Di Haoyan in surprise. Why are you here? What's the matter? Di Haoyan's tone was cold. Of course, Meng she had something to say. F***CK. This man had just kissed Tang Gu some time ago, and now he's kissing a woman. Is he bisexual? He had seen bisexuals before, but it couldn't be Tang Gu. That's not very good, is it? You have a girlfriend so soon? Meng she hated people who had no principles the most. Di Haoyan's eyes narrowed slightly. He looked at the poor little thing who was hiding in his arms and tugging at the corner of his shirt, indicating that she should leave quickly. He couldn't help but smile dotingly and say, "It's my wife." Meng she knew that men and women nowadays like to call each other husband or wife as long as they were in a relationship. But this person was too lousy. Okay, it's your business if you have a wife. Please stay away from Tango in the future. Why? Why what? Do you want both of them? You're right. I want both of them. Hey, I say you're too lousy. Meng she was so angry that he was about to quarrel. He didn't care who this person was. Meng Shi, was never afraid of anyone. However, at this moment, the bodyguards behind him swarmed forward and dragged Meng Shi away. They even threw him out of the amusement park so that he could never enter again. F***CK. So what if you have someone? Let me tell you, I'll definitely tell Tangu about what happened today. I'll let him see what kind of person you are. Meng Shi was still shouting. His sunglasses fell off and his mask was pulled off, revealing his handsome celebrity face. Wow, isn't that Meng Shi? A passerby immediately recognized him. Meng Shi, who still wanted to shout, froze. It's really Meng Shi. I didn't expect to meet Meng Shi here. Many people immediately approached them, and Meng Shi ran away. The fan club behind him chased after him desperately. Don't let Meng Shi run away. I want his autograph. I want to take a photo with him. As a superstar, Meng Shi also had the ability to run away from crazy fans. After Meng Shi left, Tang Bao raised his head from Di Haoyan's chest and heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, I wasn't discovered. Otherwise, there would be no end to it. What are you afraid of? Afraid that he'll recognize you as his first love? Di Haoyan's voice was low and dangerous. Tang Bao's expression froze, and then she said indignantly, "What does this mean?" "It means that my charm is that great." Di Haoyan hugged her domineeringly. Tang Bao bumped into Di Haoyan's strong shoulder, causing her intestines to tremble. "From now on, your charm can only be shown to me, understand?" His slender and strong fingers pinched her chin threateningly. Tang Bao's gaze flashed under Di Haoyan's pressure, and she moved her waist uncomfortably. "Let go of me." "Okay." Tang Bao was still thinking. Why is this person so easy to talk to and let go of me just like that? The next second, she lost her balance because of her unstable footing. The next second, she fell back into Di Haoyan's arms. She could forget about leaving him. After coming out of the amusement park, Di Haoyan took Tang Bao to watch a movie. The movie was actually a horror movie. Then, Tang Bao realized that there were couples all around. Did they all like to watch horror movies? Not necessarily. She knew it before. Chapter 745. Because they were cute when they were scared, and they would crawl into your arms. Could it be that Di Haoyan was also thinking the same thing? It seemed that Di Haoyan didn't understand her at all. When she was in the castle, what kind of horror movie had she not watched? Had she ever been scared? Not at all. When the horror movie started, Tang Bao hugged the popcorn like a little hamster and threw it into her mouth as she watched. Of course, Di Haoyan's attention was not on the movie, but on Tang Bao. Tang Bao was holding a piece of popcorn in her hand, but before she could stuff it in her mouth, she felt something wet and warm on her hand. Di Haoyan took the popcorn between her fingers and ate it. Tang Bao stared at him in the dim light, her eyes especially bright. "Why did you have to suck on my finger?" Di Haoyan did not feel that he was doing anything wrong at all. This horror movie seemed to be a little crazy and scary from the beginning. There was a young couple a few seats away. The girl kept burrowing into her boyfriend's arms, and she even let out sounds of fear. Even though Tang Bao was staring at the movie, she could not ignore what was going on over there. At this moment, Di Hao Ian's thin lips came over and whispered in her ear, "Let me tell you something." "What?" Tang Bao saw that he was so serious and thought that there was something wrong. "I don't dare to watch horror movies." Tang Bao was so surprised that she turned her head and her mouth almost bumped into Di Hao Ian's face. She stepped back slightly and asked with her eyes, "Are you kidding me? I'm really scared. I've never watched a horror movie in the cinema. Do you think I'll believe you?" "It's true. In the past, when you weren't by my side, I couldn't sleep, so I watched horror movies. Then I was so scared that I didn't dare to go to bed the whole night," Di Hao Ian continued to say seriously. Tang Bao saw his serious expression and was puzzled. Could it be true? Di Hao Ian was afraid of horror movies? This was definitely a lame joke. "So, come into my arms and comfort me." After Di Hao Ian finished speaking, he directly lifted Tang Bao up and sat on his lap, hugging and looking at him. The corner of Tang Bao's mouth twitched. "I'll be a fool if I believe you." She lowered her voice. "Put me down. Don't act recklessly. How am I messing around? If you move again and something bad happens, I can't guarantee that you'll be fine." "No. Let me tell you, even though the cinema is pitch black, there are surveillance cameras. Everyone saw it clearly." Tang Bao told him sternly. "Then be good and let me hug you." In other words, the surveillance camera was a surveillance camera. He still had to hug her. What could a Tang Bao do? They couldn't scold him, and they couldn't beat him in a fight either. They could only submit and barely maintain their lives. The Tang Bao movie was just fine. Neither of them moved. They did not even kiss or touch each other. Then, the Tang Bao felt that something was wrong. She really admired Di Hao Ian. He didn't do anything, but his reaction was still so big. Was he watching a movie, or was he watching something else? The Tang Bao tilted her face slightly and said in a low voice, "Don't go overboard." Di Hao Ian's voice sounded suppressed. Otherwise, his hoarseness would scare people. "Don't play dumb. You're like a block of wood. Do you think I don't feel anything?" If it weren't for the dim lighting in the cinema, they could clearly see the redness on the Tang Bao's face. No one could remain calm in such a straightforward and helpless situation. It was too dangerous. "It's all your fault. What's there to blame me for? What did I do? I'm hugging the woman I love like this. If I'm not moved at all, then what's the use of me? Do you know how painful it is to hug the woman I love, but not be able to do anything?" The Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Ian was really overbearing. She said unhappily, "Did I ask you to hug me? It's painful but joyful." The Tang Bao gritted her teeth and continued to lower her voice. "Let me sit at the side." "No. Ew. You don't feel uncomfortable?" "I said it. It's painful but joyful." The Tang Bao bit her lower lip shyly and angrily. "You're happy but you're in pain. I'm only in pain. How can I concentrate on watching the movie when you're like this?" Her eyes were especially bright because of her anger in the dark as she glared at the big screen. Those who didn't know better would think that she was watching a murder movie. After coming out of the cinema, the Tang Bao lowered her head and deliberately glanced at Di Hao Ian. Fortunately, he was in a normal state. "What are you looking at?" The Tang Bao was shocked. Could it be that she had been discovered with just a glance? "Watch where you're going." The corners of the Di Hao Ian's mouth curved into a sexy and charming smile. He reached out to hold the Tang Bao's hand. The Tang Bao retracted her hand as if she had been scalded. "What are you doing in public?" "Hand." Di Hao Ian's eyes turned cold as he stared at her. The Tang Bao was really aggrieved. She didn't want to hold his hand, and he was giving her a hard time. She had no choice but to reach out her hand and hold Di Hao Ian's hand. Only then did the expression on the Di Hao Ian's face become better. The Tang Bao was held in silence. Because Di Hao Ian was too easy to overshadow, a lot of attention would be focused on them. What else could the Tang Bao do other than accept it? The more she struggled, the more attention she would attract. She thought about how she had been working steadily and bravely for the past 3 years. Why did it not work when it came to Di Hao Ian? Perhaps in the face of a real powerhouse like her could only be considered a weakling. When they got into the car, Di Hao Ian let go of her. The Tang Bao thought that everything would be fine. But when she got into the car, before she could sit down, she was forcefully pulled into Di Hao Ian's arms without any hesitation. Under Di Hao Yan's sharp and deep gaze, the atmosphere in the car suddenly heated up. The Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Yan was about to lose control again. Di Hao Yan held her head and pressed his thin lips against hers. Di Hao Yan, let go. The moment the Tang Bao spoke, she was completely blocked from the inside out. She struggled, but she was placed on the seat in a lying position. Di Hao Yan's face was deep and dark, but there was a strong and dangerous aura about him. We're not going back. Di Hao Yan sat down and kissed Tang Bao's moist and soft velvet-like lips. He asked in a low and hoarse voice. The Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Yan was like a wolf at this moment, a wolf that was eager to devour everything. The nervous Tang Bao's heart was beating so fast that it was about to jump out of her chest. She knew the signal in Di Hao Yan's eyes too well. By not going back, she meant that something was going to happen. No, I don't want to. Di Hao Yan, you can't force me. Otherwise, I'll take the child and leave you far away. The Tang Bao did not want anything to happen between her and Di Hao Yan again. Once was enough. Why'd it have to be a second time? She did not want to. Chapter 746. His dark eyes looked down at Tang Bao's face, as if he wanted to swallow her whole, but he couldn't hide his emotions. He could use force, but what about after that? Would she really leave with the child? You can't escape. There will be a time when I can escape. Di Hao Qian stared at her with his dark eyes for a moment, then pressed his thin lips down and bit Tang Bao's lips. Only when Tang Bao groaned from the bite did he loosen his grip. Why aren't you willing? Do you think there's a second path for you? You can only be mine, Di Hao Yan said angrily. I'm not yours. We won't go back to how we were before. Di Hao Yan's dark eyes stared at her without blinking. They were so dangerous and sharp. He lifted her chin with his slender fingers and said, the more you say that, the more I want to hold you in my arms. What do you think I should do? No. Tang Bao's expression changed. What was wrong with this person? It was simply a high-level, indeterminate gloominess, okay? Then say something nice to comfort me. Otherwise, I won't be sure, Di Hao Yan said as he patted her head. His gentleness was self-evident. Tang Bao's entire body trembled, and his aura became even more unstable. Di Hao Yan was the devil of the devil. Say what? Tang Bao's mind was in a mess. She was scared out of her wits. She had a gun on her head. Would she be able to recite an ancient poem? Whatever, as long as I'm happy. You're very handsome. No one dares to say they're the best in D-City. You don't have to say this. Everyone with eyes knows. Say you like me? Tang Bao was stunned. You're not going to say it? Tang Bao's mind was racing. She weighed the pros and cons of saying this. It seemed to be worth it, as long as Di Hao Yan didn't press down on her so dangerously. She rolled her eyes and said with a red face, I like you. Look at me and say it. Tang Bao wanted to bite Di Hao Yan to death. What difference did it make whether he looked at him or not? But under such a threat, she had no choice but to comply. She looked into Di Hao Yan's dark eyes. At that moment, before she could say anything, her heart was beating wildly. It was as if she was confessing her true feelings. Although she knew that she was being forced to do so, she couldn't help but feel her emotions throbbing uncontrollably, especially under Di Hao Yan's deep gaze. Even her soul was stirred. I like you. Tang Bao's throat tightened when he said this. Di Hao Yan's dark eyes flickered, and his voice was low and hoarse. What kind of like? Tang Bao frowned and said, I want to be with you. Is that enough? Only then was Di Hao Yan satisfied. His dark eyes were deep and his thin lips pressed down, kissing her little mouth. Me too. It was already very late when they reached home, and the children were already asleep. Wan Malay and He Ju leaned against the railing of the balcony and talked. Seeing that they had returned, Wan Malay deliberately looked at Tang Bao. The cross-dressing Tang Bao made her very happy. It was as if she had returned to her old self. Tang Bao was a little uncomfortable. Fortunately, the two children were asleep. Otherwise, they would definitely ask her who she was. Would they recognize her? Or would they think that she was a man in disguise? It was really shocking. Is the hotel room really ready? Tang Bao asked. Why don't Malays sleep here? She didn't believe that Dihaotian wouldn't have a place to sleep. No need. The room is ready. Hiju will send me there. You don't have to worry. Wan Malay felt that after Tang Bao said that, the young master's expression immediately turned cold. She didn't want to be a victim of Tang Bao. So, she followed Hiju and left the apartment. Hiju drove the car. Wan Malay looked out the car window and thought of something. She asked Hiju, "Do you still remember when you threw me on the road in the middle of the night?" Yes. Hiju's face tensed up. You really don't know how to be gentle. I'm the only one who doesn't argue with you, Wan Malay said coquettishly. If I knew that you would become my girlfriend, I wouldn't have done that. Although this was the truth, Wan Malay enjoyed it very much and hid a smile on her face. When they were in the car, Wan Malay didn't think much of it. It was only when they entered the hotel that she felt that something was wrong. When they reached the door of the room, she saw Hiju go in. She stood at the door like a piece of wood. Why aren't you coming in? Are you afraid of me? Wan Malay came back to her senses and refused to admit it. Why would I be afraid of you? I'm not afraid of anything. Then she went in. She thought to herself, damn it, I've never been in a hotel room with a man before. When she went in, she realized that it was a suite with good conditions. However, there was only one big bed in the room. However, Hiju didn't live here and only needed one bed. Why do you want such a good room? An ordinary one is fine. It's comfortable to sleep. I'm not that hard to take care of. I'm not that kind of delicate woman. You're not married yet, and you're already planning for me. Wan Malay's face turned red, and her voice rose a few octaves. When did I say that I'm married? Seriously? She was still a little flustered. Hiju's frosty face melted slightly as he looked at Wan Malay. Wan Malay wasn't that kind of beauty, but she was very attractive. The more he looked at her, the more he couldn't forget her. And her cute and unpretentious side. Hiju liked it very much. Wan Malay noticed that Hiju was staring at her strangely. Her heartbeat quickened, and she found her voice. You've sent me here. When are you going to? She paused. Hiju started to take off his clothes. You? Why are you taking off your clothes? To take a shower. Hiju looked at her as if it was natural. Wan Malay watched Hiju take off his jacket and enter the bathroom. She thought to herself, there shouldn't be anything wrong with this, right? There's nothing wrong with taking a shower here. He left after taking a shower. Soon, she heard the sound of water coming from the bathroom. Wan Malay felt that not only was her face red, but her mouth was also dry. God, what kind of reaction was that? Wasn't it the sound of Hiju taking a shower? Fortunately, she had never seen a man's figure in real life. Otherwise, her imagination would have gone out of control. As a bodyguard, Hiju must have a good figure, right? Wan Malay immediately thought of the 8-pack abs of the male model she had seen in magazines. Damn, what the hell? Wan Malay immediately shook her head violently to get rid of her wild thoughts. She shook her head until she was dizzy. She walked back and forth, patting her face to get rid of the heat on her face. Not long after, Hiju came out. Then, Wan Marai, who was walking around, stopped in her tracks. Hiju's figure was exactly the same as the one in the magazine. Chapter 747. Wan Malay felt that she was going to have a nosebleed. Oh my God! She quickly covered her nose and looked away. Her voice was muffled. Do you want to put on some clothes? Since you sent me back, when are you leaving? I'm afraid I won't be able to resist touching him. Wouldn't it be a pity to let go of such a good figure in real life? I'm not leaving. Not leaving? What do you mean? Wan Malay's brain slowed down for a few seconds. Her eyes widened in shock. Don't tell me you're staying here? Don't you know that I stay in a hotel at night when I'm outside? I know, but you're not staying in the same room as me, right? Wan Malay asked, a little agitated. Aren't you planning for me? So one room saves money. Was that a reason? Wan Malay wanted to ask. Why didn't you book a 2-bedroom? She almost asked, but then she took it back. Thinking about it. What if Hiju said that it was just sleeping and not thinking too much? How embarrassing would that be? Should she just pretend that she didn't know anything? But that would be too stupid. The two of them weren't buddies. Hiju, are you sure you want to sleep in the same bed as me? Wan Malay asked again. Yes. Wan Malay grabbed her hair and walked into the bathroom with her head lowered. As soon as the door closed, the redness on her face spread uncontrollably. She was really not mentally prepared at all. Ju's meaning should be very obvious, right? Actually, there was no need for her to hide, right? After all, she had been with Ju for 3 to 4 years. Besides kissing, they hadn't done anything else. If she continued to delay, would people think that she was an old virgin? Thinking about it this way, it didn't seem to be a bad thing for her. Besides, hadn't she found the Tang Bao? She should just treat it as a celebration. Wan Malay thought about it and decided. However, when she came out of the shower, she was still very nervous, especially when she saw that Ju was already on the bed. His upper body was naked, revealing his muscular chest. It was too manly. Wan Marai cleared her throat and climbed onto the bed. She slept beside Ju, but there was still a distance between her and Ju. Although there was only one bed, the bed was still quite big. Wan Malay lay down and closed his eyes. Then, she felt Ju lying down beside her. Her vision darkened and the lights went off. Wan Malay could hear his own heartbeat. He covered his chest with his hand, afraid that his heart would beat too fast and Ju would hear it. That would be too embarrassing. Just as she was feeling conflicted, she felt a tight grip around her waist, and she was pulled over. Wan Malay was like a piece of wood that Ju could do whatever he wanted. Ju hugged her to sleep after she was hugged by him. There was no more movement. What was going on? That was it. Wan Malay couldn't help but say, Ju, if you want to do anything, I won't object. After all, we're all adults, right? Haha. These two laughs were really stiff. She hoped that Ju didn't flinch because of the nervousness on her face. It was her first time, so she must be nervous. You want me to touch you now? Wan Malay's brain buzzed, and his face heated up. Did he mean that Ju didn't want to touch her? Was she thinking too much? She suddenly got angry. Of course not. Do you think I'm asking you to touch me? I know that I'm not a beauty, and I don't have that kind of figure. It's normal that you're not interested. I understand. I won't blame you. If I touch you now, how are you going to meet Tang Bao tomorrow? Are the two related? In the past, you didn't notice that Tang Bao didn't go to the office very often. You don't know the reason? Wan Malay's mind flashed. When she was in Kachin, Tang Bao was really like that. He was the kind of person who didn't do much. Of course, she also knew the reason. At first, she wondered why she was so unmotivated. Later on, she found out the reason. When Ju said this, Wan Malay's face instantly heated up. Moreover, she heard that the first time would be very painful. Although she didn't know Ju's physical strength, he was a person who focused on fighting and had a body full of muscles. Happy to be weak. Forget it. Wan Malay was a little scared just thinking about it. Then you're not allowed to touch me. Okay. Then the two of them went to sleep. In the room, it was very quiet. It was as if only their breathing and heartbeats could be heard. After a long time, Ju, are you asleep? Wan Malay asked softly. No. I want to ask you a question. It's about your... Although this didn't seem like a question that a virgin should ask, she was Wan Malay. She was curious. Couldn't she? Ju didn't say anything. He felt a movement under the blanket. Wan Malay's hand was pulled over. Wan Malay gasped fiercely. Her whole body stiffened as if she had crashed. Are you satisfied? F***CK. Go to sleep. You made me suffer so much, and now you're saying go to sleep? Are you sure I can still sleep now? Huh? Ju, you're really unromantic. In the quiet night, Wan Malay wished she could find a hole to hide in so that she wouldn't die of embarrassment. Why did she ask such a stupid question? Wouldn't it be better if she didn't ask? Curiosity killed the cat. The next day, Tang Bao didn't go to the office. Di Haoyin took the two children out to play. She was alone at home with her computer on, sitting in the living room and reading the gossip news. The fashion night was going to be held soon. She hoped that Chengju and Meng she would go together. Needless to say, Meng she would definitely be fine. Chengju also had a piece of work now, and the response to the draft was very good. However, if she wanted to go, she would definitely have to find a designer to design it properly. She wasn't very satisfied with the previous designer. She couldn't afford to hire someone who was too famous. The doorbell rang. Tang Bao went to open the door. Wan Malay was standing at the door, looking tired. She walked in weakly. Tang Bao saw the dark circles under her eyes. They were comparable to Di Hao Yan's. After closing the door, Tang Bao asked in a gossipy spirit, "Did you have too much fun last night?" "What do you mean? We're all adults. There's no need to hide it. I haven't asked you yet. When did you and He Ju get to that stage?" "What stage? Why are you playing dumb?" "He Ju and I have reached the stage of kissing. Are you satisfied? Are you kidding me? I've been away for so many years, and you only kissed? Then last night, you didn't do anything. Then why are your dark circles so serious?" When Juan Marai mentioned this, she was so depressed that she wanted to die. Chapter 748. "What are you doing? Did you not do anything? What have you been doing all these years?" Tang Bao thought to himself, wasn't this progress too slow? Back then, she and Di Hao Hian had settled her in a few months. Thinking about how helpless she was back then, she felt quite pitiful. However, she felt that Juan Malay had taken too long. "What are you doing? You still have the cheek to talk about me?" The young master couldn't find you, so he did all sorts of things. Did He Ju even have time to breathe? Juan Malay thought of this reason and quickly said it so that Tang Bao wouldn't laugh at her progress with He Ju. "Did all sorts of things? What do you mean?" Tang Bao asked, not quite understanding. "Didn't the young master say?" "That's true. With the young master's personality, how could he tell you what he did?" "Di Hao Ian has been looking for me all this time?" "More than that. Not only was the young master looking for you, but after you fell from the plane into the harbor, he spent a lot of manpower and resources to drain the water in the harbor." What? There's only one harbor in D City. You should know that, right? Tang Bao stood there in a daze, his eyeballs frozen. It was precisely because she knew that she was so scared that she couldn't move. What kind of joke was this? The water in the harbor was drained? Such a big harbor? Tang Bao asked again. "You're not lying to me, right? Do I have anything to eat if I lie to you?" Of course, Tang Bao believed in Juan Malay. It was just that this matter was too ridiculous. "That's not all. There's more. Do you know how many companies in D City have closed down in the past few years when you weren't around?" "What economic crisis?" "It's just that the young master is in a bad mood and caused trouble. If this continues, I suspect that D City will be destroyed." Of course, Kuchin was still thriving. It was just that the young master would go to the company almost every day. He would either sit in your office chair in a daze or stay in your lounge for a day and night. It was scary. When the security guards patrol at night, they walk around your office. Every morning when I go to work, I have to ask He Ju if the young master is in the lounge. Everyone was on tenterhooks. At that time, the young emperor would seem to have come from the underworld and would take people's lives at any time. Don't you think you're scared? Tang Bao's heart was beating abnormally. Was this the life of Di Hao Ian after she left? But after so long, Di Hao Ian didn't say anything. She recalled the first time she had met Di Hao Ian. He had hugged her in the car, and the liquid flowing down his neck. So it was really tears. Tang Bao pursed his lips tightly and felt his eyes burning. But why would Di Hao Ian go to such lengths? Then his insomnia and heartache are real? That's right. Even the capital hired a psychiatrist. Young Master D completely relies on a psychiatrist to sleep. Tang Bao's heart was in a mess. He felt sour and uncomfortable. He was like this because of her. Why did he let her hear such things? Could she not listen and pretend that she did not know? There's one more thing. But Juan Malay still wanted to say that she refused, but her ears and heart could not help but follow. Di Lingwei is dead. Executed. After what he had done, Di Hao Ian would not let him off. It was normal for him to be executed in jail. No, he was stabbed to death by Di Hao Ian. It was at Di Lingwei's house. Di Hao Ian went there and stabbed him to death. He didn't give him a chance to live. Tang Bao did not know what expression to use to react. Everything Juan Malay said made her unable to come back to her senses for a long time. Wasn't that his biological uncle? He actually did that. Could an ordinary person do that? Well, Di Hao Ian was not an ordinary person. No one could compare to his ruthlessness. Di Lingwei is dead. No one indeed Junbai's family dares to say anything. Even if they say something, no one will listen. You know how powerful the young master is. If he wants this family to have nowhere to go, they will have to starve to death. Let me tell you, Di Lingyue is not a good person, and the others are not much better. Only Di Junbai is a good person. I feel that it's pitiful to be born in such a family. Wan Malay could not help but say a few words of pity. Tang Bao did not say anything. His gaze was slightly narrowed, and there was a flash of suspicion in his eyes. Seeing that Tang Bao did not say anything, Wan Malay thought that she might not want to hear about Di Junbai. So he said, I won't talk about him anymore. I only want to ask you, when are you going back to D City? When did I say that I'm going back to D City? What do you mean? Aren't you going back? Wan Malay did not expect Tang Bao to ask such a question. My children are here, familiar neighbors, and a stable job. No matter what, this is a place where I should be. Why should I go back? But you're Di Hao Ian's wife, Wan Malay reminded her. Are you my friend, or are you a spy sent by Di Hao Ian? I'm doing this for your own good. Let me ask you again. The children are still young now, and they've already asked about your mommy. What if they enter school when they grow older? What will others think of them? Although they're young, it doesn't mean that they don't know anything. It's just that they're sensible enough not to ask you. Are you going to dress up and appear in front of the children all the time until they grow up? Will they hate you for lying to them? Wan Malay said agitatedly. He felt that Tang Bao's way of doing things was really not good. They will understand me. Tang Bao lowered his gaze and said, being considerate is one thing, but being able to bear it psychologically is another. You're not going back because of those people in D City, right? I know that you suffered a lot when the young master lost his memory, but now that the young master has regained his memory, can't you forgive him? Didn't you say before that he lost his memory and was sick? Isn't that him? Tang Bao had long known about Di Hao Ian's memory loss. However, when Wan Malay said this, her heart still suffered a big blow. Malay, I know you're doing this for my own good, but I really don't want to go back. Why? What's the reason? The reason? Perhaps she and Di Hao Ian weren't compatible at all. Otherwise, why would there be so many conflicts? Do you know how much courage it took for me to leave? If you know, you'll definitely understand. It takes twice as much courage to go back. Malay, I'm very timid. I don't want to be in pain again. If I still want to be in pain, I might as well give up. Give a young master to someone else. Yes, you're so generous. Why can't I see it? You're blind. Wan Malay stood up angrily. What are you doing? Do you want to fight? I want to hit you. Are you afraid? Tang Bao leaned against the sofa, completely fearless. Chapter 749. Why would I need his protection? I have the ability to protect myself now, and I'm no longer the Tang Bao from back then. Perhaps after jumping into the harbor, I'll die. My name is Tanga now, Tang Bao reminded her. You're lying to yourself. Everyone knows that you're Tanga. Also, if the people in D City know that you're still alive, do you think you're still Tanga? How long has the young master been here? The entire T, and even you Songhuan, must know about the young master's abnormal behavior. Won't they investigate you? When that time comes, you still won't have a day of peace. You'll still be living as a Tang Bao. Tang Bao had thought about this before, so she hoped that Di Hao Ian would leave. However, the devil refused to leave. The more he stayed, the more energetic he became. He didn't want to leave at all. Di Hao Ian, who hadn't returned to D City for more than a month, could indeed cause some trouble. Also, you're still in the entertainment industry. Once you're exposed, it'll be fun. Tang Bao looked up at the smug Wan Malay and couldn't help but frown. Are you forcing me? No, I'm just telling the truth. I've thought of all kinds of problems for you. Hiju taught you, right? F***CK. Am I the kind of person who forgets his friends when he's in love? Although I know some things from Hiju, think about it yourself. Isn't this the case? All right, there's one more thing. Tang Bao had a bad feeling. Once, the young master was having a video conference, and your two babies entered the video screen. Tang Bao's face froze. The entire team knows that the young master has two children. One of them even looks exactly like the young master. Do you think this is exciting? Tang Bao stood up abruptly. Di Hao Ian, that bastard, he did it on purpose. At this moment, The door opened, and Di Hao Hian's tall and straight figure appeared. He raised his eyebrows at Tang Bao. You called for me? Tang Bao looked like he wanted to eat him alive. Daddy, you are so scary. Xiao Bao hid behind Di Hao Yan. No matter how scary he is, he's still your father. Come here. Tang Bao saw her little action and got angry for no reason. Who is your father? Wan Malay. I don't think you're a father. Xiao Bao could only trot to Tang Bao and act coquettishly. Daddy, don't be angry. If you're angry, eat the cake that Daddy made. It's delicious. Tang Bao was in a trance for a moment, because that was her request in the past. If she was angry, Di Hao Yan would make her a cake. Xiao Bao's casual mention made her think of it immediately. Could it be that Di Hao Yan was everywhere in her life? She couldn't control this feeling, but it was extremely annoying. Di Hao Yan walked forward and looked at her with his deep black eyes. I'll make you a cake. No need, I don't want to eat it. Tang Bao came back to her senses and immediately refused. Then she glared at Di Hao Yan and reached out to grab his collar. Get into the room. Then Di Hao Yan was dragged into the room. Wan Malay looked at them with her mouth agape. Then she asked the two babies, Is this how your father is treated here? The two babies looked at her innocently. Isn't it good? Wan Malay was speechless. The moment Di Hao Yan entered the room, he pressed Tang Bao against the door and kissed her fiercely. Ahem. Tang Bao struggled to turn her face away and stared at Di Hao Yan. What are you doing? You let me in, not to ask for a kiss? Ahem. Is this the only thing in your mind? I'm thinking more than that. I wonder if you'll resist. Tang Bao gritted her teeth. Let me ask you, does the senior management of T know that you have children? I was having a video conference. I didn't notice when the two little guys entered the study. You didn't notice? I think you did it on purpose. You can't lock the door when you're having a video conference. How can I lock it? What if something happens to the children outside? It's not safe, Di Hao Yan said matter-of-factly. Tang Bao was instantly speechless. You're angry because of this? They're my children anyway. There's nothing to hide. I can't wait to let the whole world know. Di Hao Yan bit Tang Bao's rosy lips wickedly. Go away. Tang Bao struggled in his arms. Don't make too much noise. You can't blame me if the people outside hear you. Di Hao Yan's thin lips were close to her ear as he said in a low and husky voice. Tang Bao's body stiffened. She then remembered that she should take care of something. What should we do now? Everyone knows about the children. Also, if you keep staying here and not return to D City, people will get suspicious. Di Hao Yan, I don't want my life to be disturbed now. Di Hao Yan stroked her face with his fingers. Don't be afraid. No one will disturb you. You're disturbing me. Except for me. Di Hao Yan, what I'm saying is... Before Tang Bao could finish her sentence, Di Hao Yan covered her mouth again. She was forced to swallow her words. He kissed Tang Bao until she lost all her strength before he let go of her slightly. His dark eyes were locked, and he was deeply possessive. You know that once I found you, I won't let go again unless I die. Tang Bao stared at him in a daze. Her mind was filled with Di Hao Yan's words and Wan Malay's words. Did Di Hao Yan really do so many earth-shattering things? She was in disbelief. Tang Bao pushed Di Hao Yan away slightly and could only say helplessly, I don't care. If anyone dares to appear in front of the children and do anything, I'll settle the score with you. Sure, as Wan Malay had to go to work, she couldn't stay in Boiling City forever. She could only go back. She couldn't persuade Tang Bao. She really hoped that she could think things through herself. Fortunately, as long as Tang Bao was alive, it was already very good. She would definitely change her mind in the future. Hiju sent Tang Bao to the car. When he returned, Hiju had just entered the neighborhood when he felt that someone was sneaking around. The person hiding in the dark waited for a while, as if waiting for Hiju to go in before he stuck his head out. After he stuck his head out and saw that there was no one, he walked into the neighborhood boldly. After he went in, he asked the property management, Who exactly are you asking about? His name is Tangu. I know that he lives here. I'm his friend, and I'm here to look for him. Before the property management could say anything, Hiju appeared behind him. Why don't you ask me directly? The person was so frightened that his face changed. He didn't dare to look back and wanted to run away. Jew grabbed him and dragged him to a corner, where he fell to the ground. Jew sized up the person's face and recognized him. "You're from the bungalow?" The person stood up. "Yes." Jew understood what this person was here for. "How much does old madam know?" Are you sure you don't want to tell me?" Jew asked threateningly. "Old madam now knows that the young master is with a man and has a child. Old madam hopes that the young master can take the child back." Chapter 750. That person scrambled away. He knew himself very well. He could not beat Jew. Jew must have done this because Hao-Hien had warned him in advance. Someone was really ready to make a move. Tang Bao did not know about this, and no one told her. Anyway, she felt that after Hao-Hien's video conference, people knew about her and the children's existence, and no one came to look for her. Hao-Hien must have really listened to her words, and no one could stop Hao-Hien from doing whatever he wanted. Tang Bao entered the office and saw Meng. She's sitting inside waiting. This guy was always late for meetings. Why was he so early? It was obvious that he had something to tell her. "Why didn't you call me if there was something?" Tang Bao asked. Meng Shi did not say anything and stared at Tang Bao. Tang Bao felt a little guilty. Could it be that he recognized her at the skating rink last time? Impossible. If he recognized her, he would definitely have made a scene at that time. "I went to the skating rink 2 days ago and saw someone. Guess who it was?" "Your friend?" "My friend. What did I tell you? I saw your friend and—" Monsi paused. Tang Bao looked at him strangely. "Well, I'm going to say, next may be a bit of a blow to you. You must bear with it. Why don't you lean against the desk?" Meng Shi asked. "If you have something to say, say it." Tang Bao was not that bored. "I saw your friend carrying a girl. Judging from her figure and face, she should be 18 or 19 years old. They were skating there. 18 or 19. Even if he saw her figure, he only saw the side of her face at most. Wasn't that too exaggerated? She already had 2 children. She's about your height. Why didn't you react? Or are you too sad?" "Why should I be too sad? They even kissed, the kind that was very emotional." "Oh, you really don't care?" Meng Shi asked doubtfully. "Aren't you testing me?" Tang Bao glanced at him. How could she not know about Meng Shi's little tricks? Meng Shi immediately stepped forward and said, "Tang Bao, a man like that is definitely not worth cherishing. Why don't you follow me? I'm definitely a loyal man. In the entire entertainment industry, you won't find anyone more loyal than me." "Do you want me to look through your previous posts on Weibo?" Tang Bao asked. Those are just for fun. I don't like them that much, but I really like you. When I see you, my mood is especially good. Also, I'm very obedient." Meng Shi looked at her cutely. "Sorry, I'm not gay, but you've already kissed your friend, which means that you don't dislike it. Why don't we give it a try? Test my ass. Take a look at this." Tang Bao threw the document to Meng Shi. Meng Shi glanced at it. He wasn't interested in any fashion night. However, when Tang Bao shot him a look full of killing intent, he immediately became serious. It's still early for the fashion night. Everything has to be prepared in advance. I hope that you and Chengju can participate. However, with Chengju's current fame, it might be a little problematic. So, I want you and Chengju to shoot the magazine cover. You can lead her." Meng Shi touched his chin in distress. "Chengju, will she drag down my looks?" Tang Bao contacted the magazine and explained his intentions. Hence, they arranged to meet. In the private room, Tang Bao met the magazine's editor-in-chief, Andy. He had a pair of cultured eyes, but those lenses couldn't hide his shrewdness. "Hello, I'm Tang Bao, Meng Shi's manager. I've heard. You live up to your reputation. You're indeed young and promising." Andy nodded at Tang Bao's appearance. To be able to get the deputy editor-in-chief's approval meant that he had a good impression of Tang Bao, especially in terms of dressing. It would definitely not be good if he was too old-fashioned, and it would be even worse if he was too flashy. He had to be appropriately generous. "You're too kind, editor-in-chief. I want Meng Shi to shoot your cover this time. I know that your monthly cover is at the end of the month. In the middle of the month, you will choose the cover person to shoot, so I chose this time to discuss with you. What do you think?" Of course, Meng Shi's popularity is also very beneficial to us now. However, Editor-in-Chief, I have another request. I still have an artist under me. I hope that they will shoot together. Meng Shi and Chengju. What do you think? Chengju. Her current fame is not enough for our magazine's requirements. Meng Shi's popularity is still there. This won't be a problem, Tang Bao said. In the past, your magazine has always had a single cover. Why don't you do something different? Maybe there will be a change. Moreover, with their images, the photos will definitely have a visual effect. You have to know that if you want to change it, you have to think about it at length. If you're not careful, the magazine will become unsaleable. Andy hesitated. Actually, if it's just Meng Shi, I'm definitely willing. No one can change it. Isn't Chengju filming now? How about this? Can we do it next time? I'll definitely consider her next time. Andy's consideration was very reasonable. However, Tang Bao thought to himself, if there was a next time, why would she need to look for him like this? It was more like begging for a shoot. Others said that Andy was very cunning. It would not be groundless. Editor-in-Chief, I checked. Your magazine's pre-sales this year don't seem to be doing very well. It seems to be declining every month. Since that's the case, why don't we take a gamble? If we win the gamble, then we'll succeed, Tang Bao said. What if we lose? Tang Bao was silent. How about this, Agent Tang? I'll think about it again. Sure. Tang Bao did not say anything else. However, she knew very well that the chances of success were not high. However, with the fame of woman's makeup, she could only look for them. 3 days later, Tang Bao prepared to personally make a trip to the magazine company. Then, she saw that the photography area was being filmed. She stood there and watched for a while. The photographer was filming. When he turned around, he bumped into a woman with black-rimmed glasses who was holding a cup of tea. The photographer immediately cursed. What are you doing? Can't you see that I'm working? Why are you walking around like a piece of trash? Why would the company keep someone like you here? I'm really down on my luck from 8 lifetimes. But you were the one who said that you wanted to drink water and asked me to bring it to you. I said I want to drink water. Do I want to drink it now? Can't you wait until I'm done with work before giving it to me? I told you to move a little. You're squeezing toothpaste for me. As she said that, she even pushed the woman. The woman fell backward. Someone caught her so that she did not fall. Dogo went forward. Why don't you try pushing me again? Chapter 751. Dogo really went forward to hit her, but the woman stopped her. Dogo, I'm fine. Forget it. Then she pulled Dogo away. Outside, Dogo was unhappy. Why are you pulling me away? Do you like to be bullied? If you hit someone, it will be your fault. With our current status in the company, the chief editor will definitely fire us. At that time, we will really be homeless. The woman who was pushed was Do-ji's assistant, Miko. Even if we are here, what's the difference between being homeless? Do-ji's eyes couldn't help but dim. At least there's a chance. Doga didn't say anything and turn away. Tang Bao looked at the slender figure of the man and was slightly lost in thought. It turned out that he was a photographer. He actually looked so handsome and had an extraordinary temperament. His fashionable suit outlined his figure, making him look very handsome. Those who didn't know him would think that he was a star. At this moment, 2 female staff members next to him chatted. It's true that a fallen phoenix is inferior to a chicken. Back then, Dogo was also brimming with talent. If he didn't plagiarize, how could he end up like this? Yes, he used to follow Yu Lianlian. After Yu Lianlian left the entertainment industry, he also fell. Yes, I heard that every time Yu Lianlian's figure appeared in magazines in the past, it was all done by him. He attracted the attention of the entire entertainment industry. But now I wonder if he was already faking it? I think it's probably true. Tang Bao was stunned when he heard Yu Lianlian's name. This was Yu Lianlian's photographer? This came as a surprise to her. But it seemed that he was doing very badly. Plagiarizing? She definitely couldn't ask Yu Lianlian. First, she didn't want to contact Yu Lianlian. Second, Yu Lianlian had left at that time, so she definitely didn't know the inside story of the entertainment industry. Tang Bao called Meng Shi. Hello. The ending of his voice was very melodious. Be serious. I'm not serious. This is a kind of joy after receiving your call. Tang Bao was too lazy to chat with him. Let me ask you something. Do you know Doge? Doge? I don't know him. You don't know him? You haven't heard of it? Tang Bao did not believe him. She had heard of him, but she didn't know that he was Yu Lianlian's personal photographer. I've heard of them, but I don't know them. I've never come into contact with them. If Tang Bao was facing Meng Shi, he would definitely kick him. Tell me about him. He's Yu Lianlian's personal photographer. He has quite a high status in the fashion industry, because any work that came from him would be used as a reference by others. Later, after Yu Lianlian left, his reputation plummeted because of the plagiarism incident. No one dared to be photographed by him anymore. What work is plagiarized? It's a fashion competition. Plagiarized. Who did you copy? You definitely won't be able to guess. Meng Shi snickered. Who is it? It's Yao Yao's work. He's the one who takes photos of Yao Yao and uploads them to Weibo, Qintian Xiao. Tang Bao chose to remain silent. Why? Are you surprised? It's not that I want to generalize, but I really don't have a good impression of Qintian Xiao. But he's one of the most famous people in the fashion industry. In the past, Doge always won first place. Now that Doge has been disqualified from the competition, he's the first. Even if Doge wants to participate in the competition, his work will be suspected. Moreover, I told him that Doge is arrogant and doesn't want to participate in the competition. Tang Bao thought that if he was really arrogant, why wouldn't he leave after being bullied in the company? He probably wouldn't even stay for a day, right? Sometimes, the situation forced people to bow their heads. The assistant led Tang Bao into Andy's office. Manager Tang, please take a seat. Thank you. After Tang Bao sat down, he went straight to the point. Chief editor, I wonder if you've considered it? I was thinking that if we decide on it earlier, we can prepare earlier. I'm really sorry. I forgot to inform you about this. We've already chosen the artist. I'm afraid we'll have to wait until next time. I see. Tang Bao had no choice but to nod. That's the only way. May I ask who the artist will be? It's also Yao Yao from your company. Okay, even if it's not Meng Shi, Yao Yao is fine. Anyway, we're all from the same company. Tang Bao didn't stay long and left the office. When he went to the elevator and passed through the office hall, he saw Do Ji's assistant sorting out the photos. Then he left the desk with the photos. Tang Bao walked over and stood beside the desk, looking at the photos scattered on the desk. They were all photos of costumes. Tang Bao looked at them one by one and then muttered, "Aren't they well taken? What do you know as a layman?" Tang Bao looked back and saw Doge, who appeared behind him without him knowing. Doge was tall and slender, looking at him defensively with no expression on her face. I really don't know much about art. I made this evaluation based on my instinct of artistic beauty. I'm sorry, Tang Bao said with a smile. Mick was very strange to Tang Bao. May I ask who you are? I'm Meng Shi's agent, Tang Ge. Tang Ge. Looking at Mi Ku-er's expression, Mick knew that he had heard of him, but he had never seen him before. Do Ji's eyes flashed slightly. He was surprised by the identity of this person, but he didn't say anything nice and turned away. Mi Ku-er followed him, and so did Tang Bao. Walking to a place where there was no one, she called him, Doge, can you shoot for Meng Shi's magazine cover? Doge paused. Mi Ku-er showed a look of surprise. Doge turned around and looked at her. Are you kidding me? Everyone's time is limited. Don't joke around. I'm serious. To be honest, I appeared here this time because I wanted Meng Shi and Cheng Ju to be on the cover of the magazine, but I was refused by your editor-in-chief. Since you refused, even if I shoot for you, it's useless. Doge didn't want to discourage him. Andy and the photographer had been connected here. Even if his work was good, it was impossible to use him. Mika suddenly thought of something. Doge, have you forgotten? Last month, the editor-in-chief of Beauty of All Faces came to you. Tang Bao smiled. That's even better. If I remember correctly, Beauty of All Faces and women's makeup are rivals. Don't you want to challenge them? His words were mixed with temptation. Or do you want to continue to stay here and be ordered by others? What's the value? This is very disadvantageous to your social status. If your social status is 10 yuan now, If you go on like this, you won't even be worth 1 yuan. Chapter 752. Tang Ji's news caused a lot of trouble some time ago. In the beginning, everyone, including him, thought that Tang Gu couldn't stay in the entertainment circle anymore and needed to change his career. Just when everything was about to end as planned, the plot reversed. Tang Gu was safe and sound, but the person who was proud at the beginning fell into the abyss and lost the game. Please come to my office for a talk. In the office, Miku poured water for Tang Bao. Tang Bao smiled. Thank you. Agent Tang, I think you can help Dogu. Miku looked at Tang Bao with trust. Why? I have a feeling. Tang Bao smiled and didn't say anything. Dogu sat down on the sofa opposite him and asked, Why are you willing to choose me? I think you should have heard about what happened to me before. Do you mean the plagiarism incident? Doji's face was cold, and he didn't speak. This matter was a knot in his heart, and he couldn't get over it. I heard about it. Tang Bao ignored the change of expression on Doji's face and said, I also heard that the person you plagiarized was Yao Yao's photographer, Qintian Xiao. But I chose you because it has nothing to do with this. Then what does it have to do with? My feeling, Tang Bao said and glanced at me. Cool. What a coincidence. Everyone relied on their feelings. I just want you to help me. It's that simple. Dogu didn't see Tang Bao's serious look at all. Instead, he seemed to be joking. By the way, why did the editor-in-chief of Bell Talent look for you? It's because of Sister Yu. Sister Yu and the editor-in-chief are friends. Tang Bao immediately thought of Yu Lian, so you refused. Yes, Dogu didn't deny it. You can't save face. Haven't you realized it yet? It must be unforgettable for the rest of your life. Dogu didn't speak, and his face was gloomy. When Tang Bao entered the company, he saw the assistant being bullied and the photographer saying bad things. It could be judged that Doji's position in the company was precarious. Do you think I should go to Bell Talent? Dogu asked. Although Bell Talent is not as good as women's makeup, is it important? Every issue of the magazine relied on their skills. Wasn't the sales of women's makeup also plummeting? As long as you do well with Bell Talent, it will definitely beat women's makeup. I think the editor-in-chief didn't look for you just because of Sister Yu. There's another reason. He's just trying his best. You should be thankful that you have such an opportunity. Otherwise, the fashion industry won't be able to tolerate you. What do you think? Tang Bao asked. Miku immediately said, Yeah, Dogu, why don't you give it a try? As long as you succeed, it doesn't matter who you rely on. In the entertainment industry, weren't they afraid that their backs weren't strong enough? You have Sister Yu's help. This is just a springboard for you to jump off. Isn't the rest up to you? Tang Bao glanced at the assistant. Not bad. He then stood up and said, Think about it carefully. However, my time is limited. I'm afraid I don't have much time to wait. Goodbye. Just as she was about to reach the door, Dogu made her choice. I'll go to Bell Bell. Tang Bao looked back at her and grinned. Then I'll wait for your good news. Be quick, okay? All right. It's not only Meng Shi who's on the magazine cover, but Chengju too. Is there a problem? It's precisely because of Chengju that Andy rejected me. You don't believe in my ability. Tang Bao smiled. I believe in you. With that, he turned and left. Once Tang Bao left, Miku was overjoyed. Dogu, that's great. There's finally a day for you to succeed. I'll go to the editor-in-chief's office. After Tang Bao returned to the company, he told Meng Shi and Chengju about going to Bell Bell Talent. Both of them had no objections and listened to his arrangements. In a bungalow in the city. What did you say? We've been discovered? You're simply a good-for-nothing. You can't even do such a small thing. Yu Songhuan was so angry that his lungs hurt. Annie Wang comforted her. Don't be angry, old madam. There's no use being angry. I think the young master must have his own plans. What plans could he have? When he sees someone who looks like Tang Bao, he'll forget everything. If that's really the case, old madam, there's nothing we can do. After all, who can change what the young master wants to do? I have a good idea. I wonder if old madam is willing to listen? What? Tell me. Yu Songhuan was at her wits' end now. Annie Wang's words naturally made her curious. Why don't we accept the man who looks like the young madam first? When he appears in front of us, we'll think of a way to get rid of him. What do you think? You want me to accept the D family and marry a man? Old madam, how can the young master marry a man? At most, he'll keep it by his side to play with. A substitute is a substitute. It's not the same. Yu Songhuan thought about it and agreed. Other than this method, there's really no other way. Going against Di Hao Ian would only hurt the relationship between mother and son. Assistant Xiao Ding walked into the office and handed an invitation to Tang Bao. This is a banquet hosted by the fashion chairman, Fiddlin. Bell's Got Talent has invited you. Tang Bao took the gold-rimmed invitation and looked at it. Fiddlin must have organized this banquet to find out the trends before the fashion night began. It would be a pity if she didn't go. Because of the banquet, Tang Bao went back early to prepare. As soon as the door opened, she smelled the sweet smell of cake. Her nose twitched slightly, and she saw the two little guys sitting at the table eating cake. Bao didn't eat it in the past, but now they were eating it. It was really delicious. Daddy, look at you guys eating. Tang Bao reached out and pinched their little faces lovingly. So cute. She gave birth to them. She felt a sense of accomplishment. Why are you back so early? Di Hao Ian looked at her and asked. I have to attend the banquet tonight, so I came back to change my clothes. Tang Bao said, and was about to turn back to the room. But her arm was grabbed, and she was pulled over by Di Hao Ian to sit at the table. What are you doing? There's cake. I didn't say we're going to eat. Before Tang Bao could finish, Di Hao Ian turned around and went to get the cake for her. After a while, a cake similar to the children's was placed in front of her. Tang Bao's expression was unnatural. Did he think she was a child? You used to like it a lot. I've already stopped eating sweets. Some things could still be stopped as long as she made up her mind. Di Hao Ian's thin lips moved closer to her ear. If you don't eat it, I'll feed you in front of the children. Tang Bao's neck went numb from the hot air. She immediately shrank back and stared at him with her dark eyes. Di Hao Ian handed her a fork and gestured. Chapter 753. Tang Bao noticed that the two children were looking at her and Di Hao Qian with curiosity and innocence. How could Tang Bao really let Di Hao Ian feed her in front of the children? What would that look like? She could only take the fork, dig into the cake, and stuff it into her mouth. The cream melted in her mouth, and the cake was soft and fragrant with the refreshing taste of fruits. This was something that could not be eaten outside. Even though she was eating it, Tang Bao felt like she was eating it into her brain. Otherwise, why would her past memories rush to her brain? At that time, Di Hao Ian's cakes tasted like this. She had stopped eating sweets, but when she ate it, she realized that she did not seem to have stopped. Her taste buds were so honest that she almost had nowhere to hide. Daddy, is it delicious? Is it delicious? Brother is eating it too, Xiao Bao said happily. Tang Bao nodded. It's not bad. Then Daddy should eat more, Xiao Bao said. Why? Tang Bao asked. Because the cake is delicious. Xiao Bao giggled. Tang Bao could not help but smile. To Xiao Bao, the cake was the most important thing. It was not easy to give her the most important thing. Daddy, will you be back very late for the banquet? Bao asked seriously. About 8 or 9 o'clock. Tang Bao was not sure. Then let uncle accompany you. Bao looked at Di Hao Tian with a cold gaze that said, Don't expect me to be nice to you if you don't accompany me. Son, are you trying to trick me? No need. A chauffeur will send me there and back. I don't need to accompany you. The cake was finished in silence. In the room, Tang Bao stood in front of the wardrobe and rummaged through her clothes. There was one good thing about being a man. He just had to wear a suit and not be like a woman who had to pick and choose all kinds of dresses. Di Hao Ian had thrown away all the suits she had bought and replaced them with custom-made ones that she had no idea where he had gotten them from. He changed it from head to toe. Because of this, the Tang Bao even got angry. But what was the use? Di Hao Ian's dominance were innate. He wouldn't listen to reason at all. The door opened, and Di Hao Ian walked in. She even locked the door when she closed it. Why did you lock the door? Tang Bao tensed up instinctively. You don't need to lock the door when you change clothes. Children nowadays already had memories, so it wasn't good for them to see it. Or do you want them to see that you are not daddy's body? What do they know? Don't underestimate our son. Di Hao Ian approached her and hugged her gently from behind. Which outfit should I wear? Any set is fine. Tang Bao reached out and took a set at random. Di Hao Ian held her hand. Change to this one. Then he threw the suit on the bed behind him. He didn't let go of Tang Bao. I'll help you change. Don't. The child is outside. They're watching TV. They won't pay attention to us. I'm afraid that you'll lead the child astray. If you bring a man home in the future, I'll chop you up. Tang Bao gritted his teeth. Don't worry. If he dares to bring a man home, I'll break his legs. Why don't you break your own legs? As long as you don't break my legs, you can do whatever you want. Di Hao Ian said, but his hands are not idle. Tang Bao struggled a few times, but Di Hao Ian held him tightly against the wardrobe. The suit fell to the ground. Then, the white cloth tied to his chest also fell to the ground. Di Hao Ian, Tang Bao screamed. He couldn't gather his strength. Bao, get away from me. Tang Bao's face was red, and his breathing was unstable. He grabbed Di Hao Ian's hair with both hands and tried to pull it out. But some people just wouldn't let go even if his hair was broken. Be gentle. Tang Bao felt the world spinning. He was thrown out like the suit. Before the dizziness disappeared, a shadow covered him from above. Tang Bao was just changing his clothes, but he was bullied by Di Hao Ian until he wanted to cry. When they left the room, it was already more than half an hour later. She felt her chest hurt when she went out in a well-ironed suit. This person was really a beast. When they arrived at the entrance of the banquet, Ming, Shi, and Cheng Ju were waiting outside. Tang Bao was puzzled. Why are you waiting here? Aren't you going in? At the entrance, the reporters can take a few more beautiful photos. Can't you see that I'm posing? Ming, she was posing coquettishly. She glanced at him. F***, Tanga, why are you even more handsome than me today? The suit on Tang Bao was tailor-made by Di Hao Ian. Whether it was the color or every hand-sewn line, it was smooth and beautiful. Coupled with his exquisitely handsome face, he looked handsome and elegant with a slight aura. In terms of handsomeness, it was definitely Di Hao Ian's credit. Tang Bao. Cheng Ju's eyes also lit up. Brother Tang, you're really handsome today. Stop praising me. Let's go in, Tang Bao said. Cheng Ju tugged at him. Brother Tang, stop, don't touch him. Meng Shi quickly pulled Cheng Ju away, as if to distance her from Tang Bao. Cheng Ju was not angry. She just rolled her eyes. Are you going to make a scene again? Be careful that the reporters don't take ugly photos of you. No way. They didn't take any photos, right? What ugly photos? Photos of me picking my nose are all beautiful. Meng Shi, who finally reacted, said indignantly. Tang Bao could not be bothered with him and asked Cheng Ju, What's the matter? It's not me. There's someone we know inside. Tang Bao laughed. Do you still need to say it? I guessed it before I came here. It's nothing. Let's go in. Just as Tang Bao had expected, there were many celebrities inside, especially those in the fashion industry. Tang Bao saw Felda Lin at a glance, but with her current status, she did not need to talk to him. In the blink of an eye, she saw Yao Yao and her new manager, Lai Yuancheng, Chun Tianxiao, the editor-in-chief and photographer of women's makeup, Dogu, Miku, and the editor-in-chief of Belle Talent, Fan Siming. Tang Bao walked over. As soon as he got close, he heard Yao Yao and Andy talking. They were not talking about anything nice. Editor-in-chief Andy, this Dogu is really desperate. He actually went to Belle Talent. I don't know why he's so stubborn. After leaving women's makeup, he's not even worth a fart. Yao Yao mocked. Chen Tianxiao also chimed in. I'm really suffocating to be in the same place with this kind of person. No one likes their work to be plagiarized. I don't know who invited him, but he's really dragging down the class of this banquet. Chapter 754. Fan Siming and Dogu were not far away. In other words, those people deliberately wanted them to hear their conversation. Fortunately, their faces remained the same, and they did not show any anger. The only one who might be angry was Miko who was relatively straightforward, but she was secretly stopped by Do-gu. There are people in this world who are more thick-skinned than me. I have to admit defeat. I didn't know that the chief editor's character was so bad, Meng Shi said. The cover star of this issue is Yao Yao, so the popularity must be good. When the crew was shooting, the artist in the same company said that Lai Yuancheng was very bad. If they wanted to get resources, they had to make unspoken deals with Lai Yuancheng. The key is that the resources they get may not be good, Chang Ju said. Now, I finally understand the meaning of birds of feather flock together. Meng, she sneered. Then he said seriously, it seems that Bell's Got Talent needs me to save it. Cheng Ju was speechless. Do-gu first saw Tang Bao and others, and then said a few words to Fan Simon. When they looked over, Tang Bao took the initiative to step forward and shook hands with Fan Simon. Hello, Chief Editor Fan. I'm Tang Bao. I've heard a lot about you. You're welcome. Meng Shi and Cheng Ju both greeted Fan Simon. When Tang Bao was about to say something, a sarcastic voice came. Oh, I was wondering who it was. It turned out to be Tang Gu. You actually came to this banquet. When did you become interested in this? But a small role like you is really suitable to come here and make a fool of yourself? Yao Yao was arrogant and domineering. Meng Shi was furious. Who are you calling a small role? You idiot. You. Yao Yao was angry, but this place was not suitable for quarreling. It would only lower her status. So she suppressed her anger and said, Am I wrong? Isn't it because of you that Tang Gu has a little fame now? Otherwise, how can he be successful with an artist who has been shelved? Meng Shi, there's a saying that a good bird chooses a tree to nest in. If you choose the wrong tree, you will ruin your good future. Then do you think I'll choose a piece of rotten wood like you? Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror? You look like a pumpkin. Tang Bao held his forehead. Meng Shi really lived up to his reputation. He dared to scold anyone, regardless of the occasion. However, against someone like Yao Yao, only such an attack would be effective. Yao Yao was so angry that her face turned green and white. Stop arguing. What are you arguing about? Lai Yuanqing walked over and lectured Yao Yao. He then added, arguing with someone like her will only lower your status. However, how could there be a lack of narrow-minded people when there was such an opportunity to attack others? And he did not forget to interrupt, as if she had just seen Do-gu. Do-gu, you're here too. I didn't expect you to be on Bell's Talent. Everyone has the right to choose. However, if things don't go well, the door of women's makeup will always be open for you. Fan Simon had a smile on his face as he looked at Andy. You're right. If the sales of this issue continue to plummet, it won't be good. He did not mention any names, as if he was talking about himself. However, only Andy knew that he was saying that women's makeup was not as good as before. They were the same, so there was no need to mock them. Lai Yuanqing thought of something and asked Tang Gu, Do you have an invitation? How did we get in without an invitation? Are you an idiot? Meng Shi scolded directly. I think it's fake, right? It's like walking the red carpet. Some people like to rub their heads on it. It's the same reason. I think it's better to get the security to kick you all out. Lai Yuancheng said, I'm very close to Fidolin. Asking you to scram is already a light punishment. How about it? Would it be more dignified for you to walk out on your own? Chief Editor Fan is different from them. She can stay here. Tang Gu, take your 2 little wolf dogs and leave the banquet hall quickly. Don't embarrass the company. Meng Shi was about to curse again when she was pulled back by Tang Bao. Lai Yuancheng noticed that Tang Bao was pulling Meng Shi back and knew that she did not dare to resist. He continued to mock. Tang Gu, protect your position well. Don't lose it one day. It'll be very embarrassing. Yaya looked smug. I say, why aren't you leaving yet? Stay for dinner? Be careful that we don't tell on you to Fidolin. Then, your name will be removed from the entire fashion industry. Fidolin, who was talking to his friends, noticed them and walked over. Lai Yuancheng immediately went forward to shake hands. Chairman Fidolin, you're here. You're really busy. Fidolin shook hands with him. Tang Bao looked at Lai Yuancheng silently. Are you sure you're close to Fidolin? It seems to be very lively here. Fidolin looked at Tang Gu and then fixed his gaze on her. When someone was looking at you, you had to greet them. Hello, Chairman Fidolin. I'm Tangu, an agent. Why is he looking at me? Do I have flowers on me? And he's walking towards me? I heard that Fidolin was not interested in agents. Fidolin stood in front of Tangu and asked, "Where did you get this suit custom-made?" Tang Bao looked down at herself. This was not custom-made by her. Di Hao Ian had it custom-made. How would she know where it was custom-made? She calmed herself down and looked up. A friend of mine went to custom-make it for me. Why? Friend? Fidolin was puzzled. Yes, a friend. It seems that your friend is a very important person. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to design clothes for others. May I ask, who do you mean by him? My master. In the fashion industry, people call him Lord Buddha, but he retired a long time ago. I didn't expect to see his masterpiece today. Fidolin's face was full of respect for his master. What should Tang Bao say? She thought that Di Hao Ian had custom-made an expensive suit for her. He had such a background. It was like thunder rolling in the sky. I wonder if I have the honor of buying you a drink. Fidolin invited. Sure. Tang Bao took the wine from the side and clinked glasses with Fidolin. This time, I was invited by Bell's Talent's editor-in-chief fan. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this honor. Bell's Talent? Now that you mention it, I'm very interested. Fidolin smiled. Lai Yuansheng, who was standing closest to them, could not get a word in. Not to mention him, even the editor-in-chief of women's makeup, Andy, was so angry that she wanted to crush the wine glass in her hand when she saw Fidolin and Fan Simon chatting. When they left the banquet and walked out of the hotel, they laughed nonstop. Chapter 755. Doga looked at her, and the corners of her mouth curled up. It seemed like she had gained quite a lot today. Not only that, did you see that? Lai Yuansheng, Andy, Yao Yao, and the rest looked so embarrassed that they wanted to find a hole to hide in. Meng, she said. Fan Siming looked at Tang Bao. Thank you so much. Because of Fidolin? Actually, I should be the one thanking you. You invited me here, but it's one thing to have Fidolin's guidance. The cover of this issue has to be unique and eye-catching. Tang Bao looked at Doga. Doga nodded. Don't worry. This was her chance. I believe that as long as everyone works hard, there's nothing to worry about. Tang Bao smiled. Just as she was talking, Chengju tugged at Tang Bao's suit. What's wrong? Tang Bao followed Chengju's gaze, and her body stiffened. She saw Di Hao Qian's tall figure leaning lazily against the side of the car with a cigarette in his mouth. When he saw her looking over, he threw the cigarette but on the ground and crushed it with his black leather shoe. Meng, she was unhappy. What's he doing here? Also, don't tell me he gave you the clothes you're wearing. Tang Bao didn't want to bother with his unreasonable tantrum. She said to Fan Siming and the rest, I'll leave first. Okay. Tang Bao turned around and walked towards Di Hao Ian. Di Hao Ian opened the door for her personally. Then, the two of them got into the car and left. In the car, Tang Bao asked, When did you arrive? Not long ago. Di Hao Ian's eyes were dark. I didn't ask you to come. Why did you come? To let others know that you're taken. Di Hao Ian didn't hide his domineering style. Tang Bao thought of what happened at the banquet and couldn't help but ask Di Hao Ian, Where did you get the clothes I'm wearing custom-made? You don't like it? Then I'll get you to redesign it. Tang Bao was a little stunned. That Lord Zeng was a godlike existence in the fashion industry and even the entire entertainment industry. How could he ask someone to redesign it just because he wasn't satisfied? Tang Bao thought to himself, Even if you dare, I don't dare. No need. I should thank you for being in the limelight today. Are you serious? Di Hao Ian asked, looking at her with his dark eyes. Why do I hear your indifference? Tang Bao ignored him and looked at the night view outside the car window. How should he put it? Was this an accident? He didn't want to be in the limelight, but he brought her benefits. Was this the so-called lukewarm? While Tang Bao was still deep in his thoughts, he felt a grip on his wrist. Without paying attention, he fell into Di Hao Ian's arms. Hey, call me hubby. Tang Bao glared at him, not screaming. Why should I call you hubby? Di Hao Ian didn't say anything. He reached to the side with one hand, and then 2 red marriage certificates fell into his eyes. Because of this, Tang Bao was dumbfounded. If it's not because of this, there's something else. What else? Here, Di Hao Yin touched the tattoo on her waist. It was personally tattooed by him. Tang Bao felt itchy and shrank back. He was angry. You can talk, but why are you touching me? Didn't you ask why? Tang Bao bit his lip and stared at him. I'll go and wash off the tattoo on my body now. Don't you remember what I said before? Di Hao Yin's eyes were deep and dark. What? It can't be washed off unless you tear off a layer of skin. Tang Bao had really forgotten. Are you trying to scare me? How can it not be washed off? The medicine is specially made. It won't hurt the body, and it can't be washed off. Or do you want others to see this part of your body when they wash it off? Di Hao Yin narrowed his dark eyes. There was an unfathomable danger in them as he stared at her sharply. I can get a divorce, right? It's not that you can't get a divorce. Tang Bao did not know how she felt when she heard Di Hao Yin say this. She felt sad and happy at the same time. But now, she could not find the emotions that belonged to her. She could only stare blankly at Di Hao Yin's deep eyes. All the background was gone. Get a divorce. I'll give you both the children and me. Tang Bao's eyes started to move again, but they became stagnant. What do I want you to do? You can do whatever you want to me. Di Hao Yin's hands started to move. Tang Bao quickly grabbed them with both hands. Her face was burning. Why was she willing to listen to Di Hao Yin talk about getting a divorce? If he wanted to get a divorce, shouldn't he have brought it up long ago? Why did he only bring it up now? Was he that free? You can do whatever you want to me. Di Hao Yin's voice was low and hoarse in her ear. Tang Bao's face darkened. I'm not interested. Really? Di Hao Yin bit her gently. Tang Bao's face was too young and tender. It was very light, so it was also red. Stop biting me. Put me down. Your body is very hot. Tang Bao was not only hot on her body, but also on her neck and face. She did not know if it was because of the alcohol, but she felt a little overwhelmed. But she would not admit it. I'm hot because you're hugging me. Just let go. Tang Bao struggled. She felt that the expensive clothes on her were about to be ruined by Di Hao Yin. This was something that others could not get even if they begged for it. Tang Bao racked her brains to change the topic so that Di Hao Yin would not have too many evil thoughts. Di Hao, I want to ask you something. Di Hao Yin motioned for Tang Bao to speak. But when Tang Bao opened her mouth, he kissed her little mouth that could not be closed in time. He took advantage of the situation and went deeper. Tang Bao pulled his hair, but it was useless. Instead, she became more and more impudent. He kissed her fiercely for a while before pulling back slightly. He pecked her little mouth and asked, "Why aren't you asking?" Tang Bao's face was red. She did not know if it was because of the lack of oxygen or because of anger. I wanted to ask, but you blocked my mouth and only asked now? Tang Bao panted and asked, "The clothes in my closet, are they all made by the same person?" Isn't that person retired? And I heard that he won't be designing again after he retired. As long as there's money, there's nothing impossible. Tang Bao thought to herself, you can imagine how much money you're paying. Di Hao Yin started to be mischievous again. No matter how Tang Bao tried to stop Di Hao Yin, she was still bullied by him. Tang Bao could not stop trembling. That's enough. Unexpectedly, when she got angry, Di Hao Yin really stopped. His heavy head rested on Tang Bao's shoulder. Became obedient? Tang Bao was puzzled. Why was he so obedient to her? Why did he stop moving so easily? What are you doing? Tang Bao saw that he did not move for a long time and could not help but ask. I'm not feeling well. Not feeling well? Where are you feeling unwell? My stomach. I might need to go to the toilet. Tang Bao knocked on the partition in front of them and asked Hiju, find a public toilet. Chapter 756. Then where are you going? Seriously, why are you so picky about going to the toilet? It's good enough that there's a place for you to squat. The hotel. This man booked a presidential suite just to go to the toilet. Tang Bao wanted to say something, but she decided not to. Di Hao Yin did not look too good. Besides, it was not unusual for him to find a presidential suite to use the toilet. They entered the hotel suite. Tang Bao went in first. She looked at the luxurious layout and felt that this toilet was too extravagant. No one would believe it if she told others. Tang Bao looked around and was about to find a toilet for Di Hao Yin when she was picked up. She was so shocked that she instinctively put her hands on Di Hao Yin's broad shoulders. "What are you doing?" Di Hao Yin did not say anything. His dark eyes were deep and dangerous. He threw her directly onto the big bed. Tang Bao felt as if her body was flying. Then, she landed on a feather and even bounced a little. This made her even more dizzy. Before she could regain her senses, she was shackled by the shadow above her. She looked at Di Hao Yin in shock. "Did you drink?" Di Hao Yin's fingers caressed Tang Bao's face. His face was red from drinking. "What does drinking have to do with you going to the toilet?" Tang Bao asked, puzzled. Then, when she met Di Hao Yin's dark eyes, her body stiffened. You're not feeling unwell. Did you lie to me to come here? I just want you to have a good rest. It's not convenient at home." Di Hao Yin's body pressed down slightly. That dangerous pressure was even more terrifying. Tang Bao's entire body tensed into a straight line. "You don't mess around. There's nothing inconvenient at home. It will be too loud and wake the children. Then don't mess around. Do you know the pain of holding you every day but not being able to do anything?" Di Hao Yin asked in a hoarse voice. His hot breath hit Tang Bao's evasive face. It almost scalded her. It made her head spin even more. "I've also told you before that this is the only time. There won't be a next time." Tang Bao placed both hands on his chest and pushed him away forcefully. "Go away. Don't forget that the two babies are still at home. I don't want to spend the night outside. He Ju is here. When did He Ju become a nanny? How about this?" Di Hao Yin looked at her with sparkling eyes, his fingers brushing the fine strands of hair by her ear. Tang Bao felt even more terrified, as if a low-volt electric current had passed through him. "I won't do anything. If you can hold on, I'll let you go." Time. Did he think she was stupid? If he didn't set a time, even if she could endure it, she would definitely be at a disadvantage. 10 minutes. Aren't you too confident? Tang Bao couldn't believe it. 10 minutes was enough to make him compromise? Di Hao Yin raised his eyebrows, looking like a devil. "Let me tell you something first. In the company, everyone else thinks that I'm a little abstinent prince. Don't be too optimistic." Tang Bao didn't want to gamble. If she didn't gamble, she wouldn't be able to escape. If she gambled, her chances would be higher. "If I win, you have to let me go home." "Of course." Bao at starting. Di Hao Yin's dark eyes were gleaming and calculating. An oppressive aura came from him. Tang Bao didn't know why, but he noticed Di Hao Yin's dangerous and scary gaze. He had a bad feeling about this. The next day, Tang Bao slowly woke up from the bed around noon. When he opened his eyes, he stared at the curtains of the window in boredom. She had lost. Not even 10 minutes had passed. No, to be exact, Di Hao Yin was too shameless. He would stop at nothing. What could she do when faced with such an attack? She wasn't a dead person. Or was she too confident in herself? This was a slap in the face. She was too ashamed to face anyone. When she felt someone sitting beside the bed, Tang Bao directly covered her face with the quilt. Let her pretend to be asleep. Unfortunately, the person who came did not do as she wished. He pulled the quilt off her face. "I'll be stuffy. Just suffocate to death." Di Hao Yin's dark eyes were gentle and affectionate as he looked at her blushing face. "I can't bear to. Laugh if you want." Tang Bao was extremely depressed. "Laugh about what you begged me to do last night." Tang Bao's face was red and hot. She was so angry that she didn't want to face Di Hao Yin. She wanted to turn around, but she pulled the muscles on her body. Oh my God. He massaged her with a hand. The strength was neither light nor heavy, and only then did Tang Bao feel a little better. However, in her heart, she was cursing Di Hao Yin multiple times. Fortunately, it didn't happen at home last night. With Di Hao Yin's beast-like strength, she suspected that the room would have been torn apart by them. After Di Hao Yin massaged her, he saw that Tang Bao was still pulling a long face. He directly lifted her up and pressed his thin lips against her face. His voice was low and hoarse. "What's wrong with this? This is normal behavior. I'll help you make up for what you've lost in the past 3 years. You. Tang Bao was so shocked that she turned her face away. However, she forgot that Di Hao Ian's thin lips were on her face, and her eyes met his instantly. Her brain suddenly stopped working. When she came back to her senses, she quickly pulled away and saw the deep smile in Di Hao Ian's dark eyes. It seems like you've accepted my words. Di Hao Ian's voice was low and hoarse. When did I accept it? Di Hao Ian's slender index finger tapped on his sexy thin lips. His charm was extraordinary. However, his meaning was clear. I accidentally bumped into you. I don't accept it. What did you mean by looking for the toilet when your stomach wasn't feeling well? You're obviously tricking me. She had also said that she only had sex with Di Hao Ian once. God knew how this happened again. You accepted the bet. Tang Bao was speechless. That's right. She had been tricked by Di Hao Ian into entering the hotel. In the end, she had agreed to the bet herself. At this moment, Tang Bao was going crazy inside. She had always been tricked. No one would believe her if she told them, right? She only returned home in the afternoon. When Tang Bao saw the two babies, she felt like she couldn't face them. Those two pairs of big, clean eyes were looking at her. Tang Bao couldn't help but wonder if they had seen through her. Therefore, she casually found an excuse and went to her room. When she saw her reflection in the mirror, her face was actually red. Chapter 757. Was she really afraid that a child would find out? How is that possible? Maybe she was just like that when she had a guilty conscience. After Tang Bao entered the room, Bao blocked Di Hao Ian's way. Di Hao Ian raised his eyebrows. What's the matter? Didn't I ask you to accompany my daddy? Why did you accompany him for the whole night and only come back today? My daddy doesn't look too good either. What did you do to him? Bao questioned. What do you think I can do to him? If I knew, would I still need to ask you? This rascal, was he itching for a beating? How could he treat his father with such an attitude? I sent her back safe and sound. Are you not satisfied? But my daddy didn't come back for the whole night. What's so strange about adults not coming back for the whole night? You should give your daddy some personal space. You're not young anymore. You should know about personal space, right? If you don't, go check on the computer. I taught you how to use the computer last time. Seeing Bao standing there in a daze, Di Hao Ian walked away. You're not even fully grown, yet you want to fight with me? Here it was still considered a loving relationship, but in D City, it was not so comfortable. Luo Luoli was still locked up in the castle. During the day, she would wander around the castle. Whenever she saw the swimming pool, she would take a detour. She was traumatized. However, she had not seen Di Hao Ian for a long time. When she asked, he said that he did not know. Those housekeepers and servants were really tight-lipped. She had been locked up here for more than 3 years. Her university life had been abandoned just like that. Tang Bao, when are you coming back? I'm not interested in life anymore. At night, Luo Loli lay on the bed and watched television. She was extremely bored. She felt that she might as well dig a hole and bury herself there. Gu Linshin's car stopped in front of the European-style entrance of the castle. The door did not open. Gu Linshin got out of the car with a cold expression. Ding Quan immediately walked forward. Young Master Gu, where's Di Hao Qian? The young master is not here. So, you want to appear in tea or return to the castle, right? Gu Linshin looked at him coldly. We don't know about the emperor's whereabouts. Or, can Master Gu give the young master a call? Gu Linshin really wanted to shoot him in the head. If Di Hao Qian had picked up his call, would he have come here? Don't worry, young Master Gu. Miss Luo has been eating and drinking well here. She has not suffered any grievances. Would you be willing if I locked you up in prison and treated you well? Gu Linshin asked darkly. Ding Quan did not say anything. If anything happens to her on Di Hao Qian's turf, either I or Di Hao Qian will die, Gu Linshin said menacingly, then turned and got into the car. After getting into the car, the chauffeur asked, Young Master Gu, where are we going now? The bodyguard in front looked at Gu Linshin's scary expression in the rearview mirror and said after some consideration, Rumor has it that the young master has 2 children in tea. It was discovered during a video conference. Could the young master be with his 2 children now? Go and find out which city Di Haotian is in now. Yes. Gu Linshun dialed the number, but it was still the same. No one picked up. He was so angry that he smashed his phone. Damn, Di Haotian. You've already found your son. Why are you still keeping Luo Luoli locked up? Gu Linshun's investigation was quite fast. He could even find out about Yu Songhuan, let alone Gu Linshun. Gu Linshun arrived in Boiling City. He found the neighborhood and knocked on the door of the apartment. The person who opened the door was Erbao. Gu Linshun was stunned when he saw the little face. He really looked like Di Haotian. When he saw him, he didn't even blink. He wasn't shy at all. This made him even more certain that he was Di Haotian's child. A tall figure walked over from behind. It was Di Haotian. He looked at Gu Linshun coldly. What are you doing here? Gu Linshun didn't say a word and directly entered the door. He didn't care if Gu Linshun let him in or not. When he entered, he was stunned again. The delicate little girl was playing with a doll. When she saw him, she looked at him curiously. He had forgotten that Tang Bao was pregnant with twins back then. Gu Linshun turned around and saw that Di Haotian ignored him and went straight to the kitchen. He followed him and saw Di Haotian baking a cake. Gu Linshun sneered and leaned lazily against the door. Don't tell me that all you do every day is take care of the children. Since you're so free, let go of Luo Luoli. You can savor yourself. Gu Linshun's expression turned ferocious when he heard him say this. If I wasn't afraid of hurting her, do you think I wouldn't? Damn it, it's been 3 years and you've calmed down. Di Haotian stopped beating the eggs and said in a low voice, It seems like you still haven't learned your lesson after 3 years. I'll make you fully understand what it feels like to like someone, but not be able to get them. Di Haotian's voice was calm and monotonous. It's torture. Every day is torture. Are you satisfied? Gu Linshun asked. Di Haotian didn't say anything. He continued to bake his cake without batting an eyelid, as if it was more important than his billion-dollar business. Gu Linshun stood there motionlessly and watched him skillfully bake the cake. Let go of Luo Luoli. Di Haotian, it's pointless to continue like this. The Tang Bao incident was a complete accident. Luo Luoli is her friend. If Tang Bao finds out what you've done, what will he think of you? Gu Linshun tried to persuade him. He really had no other choice. In fact, in these 3 years, the things that he had said and done were far more than what he had just said. But in the end, Di Haotian didn't even want to see his face. He really wanted to cut off all ties with him. I feel very guilty about some things that have happened. But so what if you've locked up Luo Luoli? The Tang Bao still can't come back. Gu Linshun noticed that Di Haotian had stopped what he was doing. He couldn't help but be on guard. He had touched Di Haotian's bottom line. Just as Gu Linshun thought that Di Haotian would pull a gun on him, he heard him say, It takes 40 minutes to bake the cake. You can stay and eat some if you have time. Gu Linshun couldn't help but frown. Was this person really normal? Shouldn't it be normal to fight with him in a fit of rage? In the living room, Xiao Bao went up to Erbao and whispered, Brother, who's Tang Bao? I've heard this name twice. The auntie also mentioned this name last time. That's what the auntie called Daddy. Daddy's name is Tang Gu, Xiao Bao corrected. I'm not too sure either. Erbao couldn't give her an answer. Gu Linshun waited for a moment and realized that Di Haotian didn't show any signs of anger. He couldn't help but walk into the kitchen and ask, You're in a good mood now. Is it because you're living with a man? Di Haotian glanced at him coldly and didn't say anything. Chapter 758. When Gu Linshun saw that Di Haotian did not speak, he nodded and said, All right, it's your business to find a man. Whether you like it or you're interested, just play Luo Luoli for me. Are you ordering me around? Di Haotian looked at him coldly. Good that you can tell. Then you can continue daydreaming. Di Haotian, get lost. Di Haotian lost his patience. Gu Linshun left the apartment angrily. If it were not for the sake of the 2 children, he would have blown up the apartment. He had already found the children. What else did he want? Could Tang Bao come back from the dead? It was simply inexplicable. Gu Linshun got into the car and slammed the door. Go to Tang Ji's company. The car drove towards the company. Gu Linshan did not care whether Di Haoyan was with a woman or not. What he was thinking now was that if this man's status could make Di Haoyan change his mind, that would be good too. He did not mind suppressing his disgust and looking for Luo Luoli. He had already reached the limit of his tolerance. He did not know if that girl hated him to the core. When Gu Linshan thought of Luo Luoli's emotions, he could not calm down. The date for the magazine shoot has been set. It will be tomorrow afternoon. Any problems? In the office, Tang Bao was telling Meng Shi and Cheng Ju about the magazine cover shoot. No, Cheng Ju said. I'll listen to you. Meng Shi looked like he was at his disposal. Tang Bao glanced at him and continued. Although Belle's talent is not as famous as women's makeup, it still depends on many aspects. I'll let you guys do it. Before he could finish speaking, the office door was pushed open rudely. Tang Bao was stunned when he saw the person who walked in. Gu Linshan was also stunned. This was the man. No matter how good-looking he was still a pretty boy. However, it really did look like a Tang Bao. Meng Shi and Cheng Ju were disgusted by this person's rudeness. Especially Meng Shi, who immediately stood up. Who are you? We'll let you in. Even if you have something to do, you can wait outside. If you don't have anything else to say, then get lost. Gu Linshan didn't say anything. He just looked at Meng Shi with a murderous gaze. Tang Bao immediately sensed that something was amiss. He stood up and walked over. After regaining his composure, he said to Gu Linshan, I'm sorry, sir. What can I do for you? If there's anything, could you please wait outside? The assistant was not to be blamed for being incompetent. It was Gu Linshan who was too presumptuous. Tang Bao knew him all too well. But what did Gu Linshan mean by coming here? Could it be that he knew who she was? In a short period of time, Tang Bao had already thought of all kinds of possibilities. Gu Linshan's aura was so strong that it was impossible for him to be kind. His gaze was even more sinister and terrifying. Tang Bao knew that it was impossible for him to go out, so he said to the side, Meng Shi, Cheng Ju, you guys go out first. Cheng Ju looked at Tang Bao worriedly. Tang Bao shook his head. It's fine. Cheng Ju said, we'll be outside. Call us if there's anything. Okay. Cheng Ju went out. Tang Bao turned around. Seeing that Meng Shi was still there, Tang Bao did not say anything. He went forward, grabbed his clothes, and dragged him out of the door. Why did you pull me out? I want to stay inside. What if something happens to you? We can't make it in time if we're outside. That person doesn't look like a good person. Go. Who is that person inside? A lunatic. F*CK. We're not in a lunatic asylum. Tang Bao was speechless. All right, I know what I'm doing. You guys go to your own things. With that, Tang Bao entered the office and closed the door. Meng Shi still wanted to go forward, but he was stopped by Cheng Ju. Calm down. If Brother Tang says it's fine, then it's definitely fine. Meng Shi still believed in Tang Bao's ability, so he did not go in. However, he thought of what happened just now and asked Cheng Ju, what did you do just now? What did I do? You pulled me out. I'm sorry. Cheng Ju did not argue with him at all. After Tang Bao entered the office, Gu Linshan was looking around the office. He did not seem to treat himself as an outsider at all. You're Tango? Yes. May I know who you are? What's the matter? Tang Bao asked calmly. Gu Linshan retracted his gaze from the office and looked at Tang Bao. He walked to Tang Bao's side and circled him. Tang Bao's entire body was tense, afraid that Gu Linshan would see through him. What's the matter? Of course, I'm here to see what you used to charm Di Haoyan. After all, you do look a little like his late wife. But this figure, with a perky but it's a pity that you don't have breasts. Gu Linshan said and pulled his face closer. Tang Bao could not help but stiffen his neck. After a moment, Gu Linshan continued. You don't have a woman's bottom either. What did you use to charm Di Haoyan? Tang Bao heaved a sigh of relief. It turned out that he had not been recognized. That was true. Besides Di Haoyan, no one else could recognize him. Tang Bao took a few steps back to put some distance between him and Gu Linshan. His delicate and handsome face was expressionless. He lowered his voice and said, I don't know how Di Haoyan was charmed by me, and I'm not interested. What I look like doesn't seem to have anything to do with you. Doesn't matter? Of course it matters. Before I came here, I was still wondering how similar you would look to Di Hao Ian's wife. To be honest, you don't really look like her. I was just curious why Di Hao Ian would be entangled with a man. If it were a woman, I would believe that he was looking for a substitute. Tang Bao, you hit it well. Tang Bao's expression did not change, but he was shocked and his heartbeat accelerated. What the hell? He had thought that Gu Linxin did not recognize him earlier. How had this bastard see through him? Or was he testing him? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Tang Bao frowned slightly and said in confusion, when I first came in, I didn't recognize you either. But nothing can escape my eyes. Gu Linxin's sharp gaze fell on Tang Bao. You're the first to say that I look like Di Hao Ian's wife. I'm afraid there's something wrong with your eyes. Tang Bao said bluntly, how about this? Take off your clothes and we'll verify it. Tang Bao had already cursed Gu Linxin in his heart. Taking off his clothes when they met? Could he be more shameless? Since you're so unwilling, I'll do it myself. Gu Linxin directly pulled Tang Bao's collar. Tang Bao stepped back, but he still managed to pull off 2 buttons, revealing his fair and smooth neck. Are you crazy? As a man, you don't even have an Adam's apple. How can that be? Tang Bao was so angry that smoke was almost coming out of his body. She should stay away from Di Hao Ian and his friends. Chapter 759. No wonder Di Hao Ian was able to rise from the ashes. So you're fine. It's not easy for you to still be alive under such circumstances. Since you're not dead, let's ask Di Hao Ian to release Loli. My patience is limited. Gu Linxin went straight to the point. Tang Bao was stunned. What do you mean by release Loli? Gu Linxin brought it up again. His expression was still gloomy and terrifying. After you died, Di Hao Ian captured Loli and locked her in the castle for more than 3 years. That can't be. What does my death have to do with Loli? Tang Bao was very doubtful. Gu Linxin sneered. Who knows about that lunatic? He's like a lunatic, causing chaos in D City. Tang Bao now understood. Gu Linxin had appeared in front of her to ask Di Hao Ian to release Luo Luoli. Of course, she would not help Gu Linxin. She would get a headache whenever she saw him. However, Luo Luoli was her friend. How could she do this? Tang Bao asked Gu Linxin again. Is she really locked up until now? For more than 3 years? If you don't appear for the rest of your life, Loli will be locked up for the rest of her life. Let me tell you, if you set me on fire, I can kidnap you and exchange you for Loli. I forgot that you have 2 children. How about 3 for 1? Can you be any more cruel? Yes. When Tang Bao returned to the apartment, Di Hao Ian was cooking. Tang Bao walked over and stood at the kitchen door. He looked at the man who was cooking in an orderly manner. Such a high and mighty, incomparably honorable man, actually mingled with the smoke and fire of the mortal world. From her initial indifference to her acceptance, and now to her current melancholy, she knew that she could not change Di Hao Ian's actions. That was because Di Hao Ian would not give her freedom and would not let her go. This was the only thing she could not change. She tried to change, but in the end, she was controlled by Di Hao Ian. Just like his current situation, he would rather be a stay-at-home dad than leave this place. Di Hao Ian, can you really stay here forever? Why must he be so stubborn? Let Lolita go, Tang Bao said. Di Hao Ian froze. Gu Linxin really doesn't know what's good for him. It's not because of him. You've locked Lolita up for so many years. Have you ever thought about my feelings? How could she bear to waste her best years just like that? Without you, anyone in the world would be my enemy. While Tang Bao was still in a daze, he turned around and looked at her. When you're not by my side, it's a sin for anyone to be alive. They shouldn't eat, they shouldn't sleep, and they shouldn't breathe. I'm by your side now. Can you let go of the Loli? Di Hao Ian turned around to serve the dishes. Wash your hands. It's time to eat. He walked past Tang Bao. Tang Bao knew that if he did not get Di Hao Ian to agree to let her go, Luo Luoli would not be able to get out and would be locked up forever. She went forward and hugged Di Hao Ian's strong waist from behind. She buried her face in his sturdy back and whispered, "Please, let her go. She's innocent." Chapter 760. Have you forgotten what I said in the past? It's because you're different that I won't marry you. Tang Bao hated herself for being different, although she didn't know what made her different. The next day, Tang Bao went back with Di Haoyan. They took Di Haoyan's private jet. Seriously, the moment Tang Bao said that she was going back, she was extremely nervous. She didn't think that she would go back. If it wasn't for Luo Luoli, she definitely wouldn't go back so easily. She had too many memories in D City, too many unbearable things, too much pain. Going back was just a replay of the past in her mind. Just as Tang Bao was in a daze, Di Haoyan hugged her and kissed the top of her head. D City is mine. You're just back in my arms. Don't worry. Bao, I'll always be by your side. Tang Bao thought that she had gone back, but it didn't mean that she had accepted Di Haoyan, right? As long as she didn't accept him, would she not feel the pain of the past? Tang Bao didn't want to discuss this with Di Haoyan. To her, it was undoubtedly adding to her psychological burden. Are you really going to buy a private jet? I've already booked it. Can you return it? Don't we have a private jet here? It's the same if we take this. This is old. Are you sure this is old? Why does it look new to me? Money can pierce flesh. Sleep. When you wake up, we'll be there. Di Haoyan hugged her and laid her down. Her head rested on Di Haoyan's strong thighs. Tang Bao didn't refuse. She wasn't sleepy. She was just afraid and uneasy. When the time came, she would have to face many people. You'll be back tonight, right? The child is in Boiling City. Even if Ju is there, I'm still worried. Okay. Tang Bao closed her eyes and did not say anything. Just as she was about to fall asleep, she felt the heat on her lips. It was as if someone had kissed her lightly, or as if a feather had fallen on her lips and been blown away by the wind. Tang Bao fell asleep. When she woke up, the familiarity of the room flooded her mind. The room was exactly the same as it was 3 years ago, without a single change. Tang Bao sat up from the bed in a daze. When he looked around the room, his gaze fell on the paper pasted on the wall beside the bed. He could not help but be stunned. She got off the bed and her fair feet stepped on the soft carpet. She had forgotten to wear her shoes. She stared blankly at the paper stuck to the wall. It was the 3 obediences and 4 virtues agreement that had been torn apart by Di Haoyan. Wasn't it torn apart by Di Haoyan? Why did he return to the wall? There were no signs of the Tang Bao being glued together. He could only reach out and touch it. Nothing was touched. A broken mirror could not be repaired. Of course, a torn piece of paper could not be restored without a trace. But the handwriting on it was clearly written by her. It was her handwriting. What was going on? Just as Tang Bao was puzzled, there was a slight movement in the air. Di Haoyan entered the bedroom. You're awake? Tang Bao stopped staring at the wall. Yes. Why didn't you wake me up when you got off the plane? You were sleeping so soundly, so I carried you back to your room. Tang Bao thought to herself. If he carried her back to her room, did that mean that the people in the castle had seen Di Haoyan carrying a man home? After all, she was a man in disguise. She was not Tang Bao. Other than Di Haoyan and Gu Linshin, who could recognize her, she did not believe that anyone else would have such eyesight and sensitivity. Have you let Lolita go? Not yet. Why not? If it were not for the fact that Tang Bao did not believe in Di Haoyan, she would not have followed him back. Di Haoyan was unpredictable and unfathomable. Who knew what he was thinking? If he said that he would let her go, he might just be fooling her. Di Haoyan hugged her waist in a possessive manner. His chiseled face was close to hers. His strong nose rubbed against Tang Bao's pretty nose. His voice was low and hoarse. I told you to let her go. Otherwise, you won't believe me. Tang Bao's eyes flashed a little guiltily. Being seen through by others really made him feel very uncomfortable. Let's go. Di Haoyan carried Tang Bao. Tang Bao instinctively clung to Di Haoyan's shoulders. Hey, I can walk on my own. Di Haoyan ignored her. He carried her calmly through the long corridor and went to the top floor. The open-air balcony gave her a wide view of the familiar forest in the distance. These were all Di Haotian's territory, his luxurious castle. Tang Bao did not understand and asked, "Why did you bring me here?" As soon as she finished asking, Di Haotian placed her on the railing. Tang Bao was so frightened that she immediately hugged Di Haotian's neck. "You brought me here to scare me, right?" Tang Bao glared at him. "I'll fall. Then hold on to me tightly." Yes, even now, Tang Bao did not dare to let go. The castle was so high. If she fell, even if she did not die, she would be crippled. Luo Luoli was lying on the bed, watching TV with no interest in life. The TV was still playing cartoons. She felt that it was difficult for her to even watch cartoons with her current brain. It had deteriorated and rusted. Perhaps this was how a person would be like when they had lost all hope and ideals. Just as she was staring blankly at the cartoon, she heard the sound of the door opening. It must be food. Therefore, she did not move and continued to stare blankly at the scurrying rats on the TV. "Luoli, leave the food there. I'll eat it when I'm hungry," Luo Luoli said and stopped abruptly. She could not believe the voice she had just heard. Was she hallucinating because she had been locked up for so long? Luo Luoli turned around very slowly. When she saw the person standing in the bedroom, she was stunned. Then she asked in disbelief, "Are you my little uncle?" "I'm not dreaming, am I?" "It's me. You're not dreaming." Luo Luoli's tears streamed down her face. Gu Linshin felt as if a sharp needle had pierced his heart, but he endured it. He went forward and pulled Luo Luoli into his arms. "I'm sorry I'm late." Sob, 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 sob. Luo Luoli's grievance and sadness all gushed out through her tears. She held on to Gu Linshin tightly with both hands. This was not a hallucination. This was not a hallucination. Gu Linshin was really here. She had thought of many possibilities in the past, but there had never been a miracle. But now, Gu Linshin had appeared in front of her before she could think of anything. How could this be? How could he make her feel so incredulous and unable to control her emotions? "Luoli, I'm here to take you home." Gu Linshin hugged her tightly and let her cry. All her tears fell onto his lapel, wetting it. It made him understand what pain, reluctance, and love were. He did not think that he would have these emotions in his life. Chapter 761. Luo Luoli cried for a long time. Her eyes were almost swollen from crying before she calmed down slightly. She broke away from Gu Linshin's embrace and looked at Gu Linshin with reddened eyes. "Take me back." Young Master Di agreed. "Yes. Little uncle, is Tang Bao really dead?" Luo Luoli asked as she sobbed. Gu Linshin wiped her tears. "What's wrong? Are we the cause of Tang Bao's death? If that's the case, I'll live in the shadows for the rest of my life." Luo Luoli thought about it and felt even more guilty. "It has nothing to do with us. Di Haotian is just venting his anger on us. It'll be fine once his anger subsides. But Tang Bao is dead." Luo Luoli looked out of the window sadly. Now that Gu Linshin had come to take her back, she was not in such a hurry to go out. Such a good Tang Bao had died because of those people. They were friends. How could they face it calmly? At first, she thought that Tang Bao was just missing. Later, when she heard the maids gossip in the castle, she found out that Tang Bao was actually dead. Between missing and dead, she would rather be missing. She's not dead. Not only is she not dead, but she's also living a prosperous life with the twins. Gu Linshin's expression was a little gloomy when he said this. "Not dead? Little uncle, you're not saying this just to coax me, are you?" Luo Luoli asked suspiciously. "How long can you coax this kind of thing?" Then where is she now?" "In Jinqing. That's not very far away. Why can't you find her?" Luo Luoli asked curiously. Gu Linshin thought that Tang Bao was not stupid. It was already Di Haotian's ability to find her when she was disguised as a man. "Don't worry about her. Why don't you ask me?" Gu Linshin felt something called jealousy surging in his heart. Luo Luoli immediately thought of something and panicked. "By the way, I've been locked up for more than 3 years. What about my mother?" Is she worried to death? I said I'll send you abroad to study. Then use your phone to send her a text message to tell her that you're safe. Luo Luoli couldn't believe it. My mom is too gullible, isn't she? Let's go. Gu Linxin picked her up and left the castle in the south. Tang Bao sat on the guardrail and was still looking at the scenery in the distance. She immediately saw Gu Linxin walking out from the south with the person in his arms. She had not seen him for more than 3 years, so she knew who it was. It was Luo Luoli. She nestled in Gu Linxin's arms in low spirits. Being locked up for more than 3 years was a blow to anyone. He didn't know if it had left any psychological trauma for Luo Luoli. Tang Bao really wanted to say something to Luo Luoli, but now she could only hide here and not dare to meet her. If it weren't for her, Luo Luoli wouldn't have to suffer like this. She wouldn't have the face to see Luo Luoli for the rest of her life. Sad? What do you think? Who would think that being locked up for more than 3 years is a good thing? If I really die, I won't be able to rest in peace. Di Haoyan's face suddenly turned cold. What did you say? Tang Bao was so frightened by his reaction that her face froze. She asked in confusion, What did I say? Did I say something wrong? Di Haoyan seemed to be suppressing his anger. His expression was cold. You won't die. With me around, no one will dare to take your life. You're not allowed to say that in the future. Huh? His fingers squeezed Tang Bao's chin tightly. Tang Bao felt that the bones in her jaw were about to be crushed. Do you have to be so serious? I'm still alive, aren't I? I'm just saying. To me, it's not okay. Di Haoyan was domineering. I'm like a frightened bird now. Don't provoke me. As she spoke, she kissed the dazed Tang Bao on the lips. He closed his dark eyes with an invasive gentleness. Tang Bao's breathing quickened because of his hot breath, and it tickled her face. Frightened bird? Who was the frightened bird? Was she the one who stayed by Di Haoyan's side, who was a ticking time bomb? Just as their lips were entangled and unable to separate, they were interrupted by the rumbling of a hungry stomach. Tang Bao's face instantly turned completely red. Hungry? Huh? Di Haoyan's dark eyes were deep and affectionate as he looked at her. The tip of his strong nose rubbed against her delicate face. You already know the answer. Tang Bao felt that she couldn't even lift her head. How embarrassing. The food is ready. I'll take you there. Di Haoyan picked her up again and left the top floor. When they arrived at the dining room, Di Haoyan placed Tang Bao on a chair and sat her down. Tang Bao wanted to say, Can you not treat me like a cripple? She felt that she had become like how she was when she was pregnant for the first time. Di Haoyan carried her upstairs and downstairs. He didn't even find it annoying, but she felt very embarrassed. Tang Bao raised her head, and her gaze fell on Lien and Zhang Li's faces. She couldn't help but feel touched. It was as if she was in close contact with them every day in the castle. They took care of her so carefully and sincerely. She was very touched, and her heart ached. After 3 years, it seemed that they hadn't changed at all. At least, their appearance hadn't changed. However, there was a change in their eyes. Lien couldn't tell anything. As expected of the supervisor chosen by Di Haoyan, he didn't show his emotions on his face. But Zhang Li was different. No matter how hard he tried to hide his disdainful gaze, it was exposed. Wasn't their expression like this because she was a man at the moment? Presumably, Di Haoyan must have been scared out of his wits when he brought a man back, right? Tang Bao wasn't prepared to reveal her identity. She still lowered her voice and said, Can you help me take off my shoes? She looked at Zhang Li and said that. Zhang Li looked away and pretended not to hear it. Lien came back to his senses and pushed Zhang Li. Zhang Li was very unwilling, but when he looked at the expressionless Di Haoyan, he still went to take it. Tang Bao wasn't unhappy. Instead, she found it very amusing and smiled. Di Haoyan saw the smile on her face and reached out to pinch her face lovingly. It was so tender, so naughty. Zhang Li didn't see this scene, but Lien did. He silently lowered his gaze and didn't look. After Zhang Li brought the shoes, Di Haoyan lowered his waist and lifted Tang Bao's foot to put it on. Zhang Li couldn't believe his caring side. She looked at Lien, but Lien shook his head at her. Zhongli was so angry that he wanted to flip the table. While they were eating, Zhang Chao walked in. Young master, the doctor is here. There's no need in the future. Yes. Zhang Chao went down. Tang Bao looked at Di Haotian and asked, what doctor? A psychiatrist. In the past, I needed hypnosis when I couldn't sleep, but now there's no need. Di Haotian didn't hide it from her. After all, Tang Bao knew everything. Tang Bao didn't say anything. She looked at the area under Di Haotian's eyes. There was indeed no bruise there. Di Haotian meant that with her around, there was no need for it, right? Chapter 762. You might as well say that I can't leave your side. Di Haotian's thin lips curled into a charming smile. Absolutely not. Tang Bao didn't want to talk anymore and ate in silence. At the back of the kitchen, Zhongli pulled Lian out. Did you see it? Did you see it? Why is that man so shameless? He actually flirted with the young master at the dining table. Oh my God, I've only heard about it before. Now that I've seen it with my own eyes, I really can't stand it. I saw it. Even if that face is somewhat similar to young madam's, it's still a man. He still wants to order me around? He even let the young master put on shoes for him. Zhongli couldn't express her emotions at this moment with disbelief. What is the young master thinking? Why did he find a man to come back? It should be a spur of the moment. A spur of the moment? Why doesn't it look like it to me? Didn't you notice? The way the young master looked at him, the kind of doting and possessive, clearly belongs to young madam. How can it be transferred to a man? I really feel bad for young madam. She was bullied when she was alive, and now she's dead. Lian's expression changed slightly, and he stopped her. Don't let me hear such words again. Do you want to die? Zhongli also realized what she had said. She couldn't say anything bad about Tang Bao in the castle. Last year, two maids gossiped about Tang Bao's death and were found out by the young master. The two maids disappeared after that. This matter made her panic when she thought about it, and she didn't dare to think about it. But she also felt wronged in her heart. Do I have to serve that man in the future? I feel like I can't stay in the castle anymore. Zhongli wanted to wipe away her tears. What nonsense are you talking about? If it's true, we just need to do our job well and don't worry about anything else. Zhongli pursed her lips and didn't say anything. Did you hear me? I'm not deaf. Leon. And if you leave and the two little masters come back, who will take care of them? Can you count on that man? Zhongli panicked. Of course not. Then do your best. When Zhongli returned to the living room, she saw Tang Bao sitting on the sofa with a swagger. He was eating fruits and watching TV as if he was not an outsider. He was even watching her young madam's favorite horror movie. She was so angry that she rolled her eyes, twisted her butt, and walked away. The Tang Bao, who was about to speak to her, stood there with his mouth agape. Huh, her temper was not small. Di Junbai drove back from tea. The car went around to Kuchin's gate and stopped there. She didn't get out of the car, nor did she leave. He stared out of the car window at the entrance of the company, lost in thought. The sky was dark, and only the lights on duty at the door shone. I heard that Di Haotian has returned. The child didn't come back, only the man. In that case, would they still leave the imperial city? When would he be able to meet Tang Bao? The lights in the villa were oppressive. No matter how they were turned on, there was a gloomy smell spreading inside. If he wasn't careful, he would mix with night. It had been like this ever since Di Lingyue died. Li Yuhuai was gloomy all day, but the hatred in her heart was very clear. Di Lingyue was dead, and the murderer was still alive and well. To her, this was something she couldn't accept. Di Junbai walked in and went upstairs. Just as he was about to enter his room, "Brother." Di Junbai paused, turned around, and saw Lan Wanru walking towards him. "It's so late. Why aren't you sleeping?" Di Junbai asked. "Brother, is Brother Haoqian back?" Lan Wanru asked. It was obvious that she waited so late to ask this question. "He's back. Alone? You told me that Brother Haoqian found the child. Is the child back too?" Lan Wanru asked. "Why are you asking about the child? Although I hate Tang Bao, she's already dead. She's no longer a threat to me. That's her child, but it's also Brother Haoqian's child. I won't be so blind just because of the hatred in my heart. Lan Wanru meant this. If Di Hao Ian wanted her, she would treat the child as her own. The child didn't come back, but she brought a man back. That man looks a little like Tang Bao. What did you say? She brought a man back? I don't believe it. Brother Hao Ian doesn't like men. But he looks like Tang Bao. I think she just needs that man to comfort her lonely heart. Even if he's lonely, the one who stays by Brother Hao Ian's side should be me. How can it be a man? Lan Wanru said agitatedly. She was so shocked that she was on the verge of collapse. She waited for so long just to be met with such cruelty? Wanru, no, I don't believe it. I want to see what kind of man he is. Lan Wanru cried as she turned around and went back to her room. After returning to her room, she lay on the bed and cried bitterly. Even in her current situation, she didn't give up on her love for Di Hao Ian, because she didn't know what meaning her life had if Di Hao Ian wasn't around. She couldn't accept that Di Hao Ian had someone else. Now, she was actually told that it was a man. Was there anything crueler than this? Lan Wanru went to the castle the next day. However, it wasn't so easy to enter the castle, even if she was a member of the Di family. Miss Lan, please go back. Ding Quan walked out and said, It's fine if you didn't let me come in the past. Isn't Brother Hao Ian back now? When young master came back, he said that anyone young madam doesn't like is not allowed to step in, Ding Quan said. Lan Wanru's face was slightly pale. Her body couldn't take it anymore and was on the verge of collapsing. Tang Bao was already dead. Did this still have to happen? Or was this an insult to her? It seemed that she definitely couldn't enter. Can I ask you something? Sorry, I won't answer any of your questions. Miss Lan, please go back. Lan Wanru stood at the door in a daze. She really hoped that she could see Di Hao Ian's figure through the door. How long had it been since she saw him? She couldn't even count it herself. Tang Bao walked around and walked to the rose garden. Previously, when she was on the top floor of the castle, she had already noticed the various colors of the flowers here. They were tender and beautiful, blooming dazzlingly. Tang Bao couldn't help but squat down and carefully look at those gorgeous petals. It was as if she wanted to find a withered flower. However, from the beginning to the end, she couldn't find a single flower that wasn't tender and beautiful. She remembered that when she left back then, these roses were like frosted eggplants. If they weren't already withered, then they were on the way to wither. Why were they all blooming so beautifully now? Could it be that they were revived because of the current season? Do you have any orders? The servant walked over and asked. I want to ask, why aren't these flowers withered? Chapter 763. What the servant meant was, don't hurt these flowers. Otherwise, they will lose their lives. Tang Bao didn't notice the servant's unspoken words. She was frightened by Di Hao Ian's cruel rule. Chopping off a finger for every withered flower? What the hell was this? Wasn't it too cruel? So, when she approached, the servant hurried over, afraid that she would do something to the flowers. Was that right? If it were her, she would also guard these flowers at all times. Was this the difference between having lost her memory and regaining it? Was she relieved that all the pain she had suffered was worth it? Or was it because Di Hao Ian was too boring? Tang Bao walked forward for a while and saw the swing. She went forward, grabbed the chain, and shook it gently. Some things could be ignored, but some things were deeply ingrained. She did not sit on it, but stood there in a daze. So much so that she was slow to react when someone hugged her from behind. Why don't you sit on it? I don't want to. Tang Bao looked up at the tree above. The branches were lush, and the green leaves were crisp. They blocked the sun, and only a little light was refracted. It was a kind of decorative beauty. Di Hao Ian lifted her up and sat on the swing with her. Tang Bao sat face to face with him in his arms. She was a little nervous. Hey, let me down. It's too much for the two of us. It's not like we haven't sat on it before. It's not like it hasn't been broken before. The past is the past, and the present is the present. It's always the same. Di Hao Ian looked at her deeply with his dark eyes. Tang Bao met those dark eyes in a daze. Her consciousness was touched and trembled. What did he mean by that? The past is the same as the present, Di Haoyan said again, his dark eyes fixed on her. Tang Bao felt his heart beating abnormally, and he couldn't help but close his eyes. She did not want to think about it on a deeper level. Or was she too timid and did not dare to? The swing swayed gently. Tang Bao raised his face slightly and looked at the dense leaves. Then she said to Di Haoyan, I want to go back to the Tang family. Okay, Di Haoyan replied. His thin lips moved over slightly and kissed Tang Bao's lips. Tang Bao did not move. Perhaps she knew that it would be useless even if she moved because Di Haoyan would not let her go. She must have gotten used to Di Haoyan's habit of kissing her at every turn. It was as if he would only be satisfied if he left something on her lips. Tang Bao got into Di Haoyan's car and went to the Tang family's house. She was familiar with every road to the Tang family. This was the first time he had such a complicated feeling of homesickness. She did not know how to face the Tang Qishan. If Tang Qishan were still alive, he would definitely give her a good scolding. Tang Bao thought of how Tang Qishan used a scolder and had the urge to laugh. There was also an indescribable bitterness in her laughter. Tang Bao got out of the car and looked at the scenery inside and outside the villa. Nothing had changed. It was as if there was not even a blade of grass growing or missing. When she walked into the main hall and saw the black and white photo of Tang Qishan, her eyes could not help but heat up and tears welled up in her eyes. Dad, I'm back to see you. I'm sorry, I'm unfilial. She stared at the photo of Tang Qishan and her heart was filled with longing. Tears still fell uncontrollably. She saw that the incense in the incense burner was almost burnt. This was probably the incense that the maid had lit for her. She was very grateful to her. Di Haoyan took the incense again, lit it for her, and handed it to her. Tang Bao took it and inserted it into the incense burner. Dad, I'm sorry. I'll burn incense for you often in the future. I'm already back. Don't be angry, okay? Tang Bao had a smile on her face, but her tears were falling. Di Haoyan hugged her and hugged her. I won't leave again in the future. I won't let you leave either. Tang Bao rested her head on his chest. Her eyes were closed as tears fell. In order to leave Di Haoyan, she had paid too much and too heavy a price. Every price made her heart ache. Did she still have the strength and ability to leave? How could she not know what Di Haoyan's appearance meant? She knew very well what it meant. It meant that she would never be able to be independent. Tang Bao walked into the kitchen, and the maid was preparing dinner. The maid quickly stopped what she was doing and looked at her in a daze. Thank you. What? When I wasn't around, you lit incense for me. Mr. Tang, I'm very grateful to you, Tang Bao said with a smile. Although the maid didn't know why this man appeared here, he was brought here by the young master, so she had no right to ask. I lit incense for Mr. Tang this month. The rest of the time, it was the young master who came to offer incense. The maid told the truth. The young master did it? Yes. For the past 3 years, it was the young master who came to offer incense. Last month, when the young master was about to leave D City, he instructed me to come and offer incense for the last time. Why were there so many things that surprised Tang Bao? And it was Di Haoyan who did it for her. She didn't want to accept it, but Di Haoyan did it for her. She could not be touched. If it wasn't for Di Haoyan, the ashes in Tang Qishan's incense burner would have turned cold. When she walked out of the kitchen, Tang Bao saw a tall figure standing at the door. She couldn't help but walk over. She hesitated for a moment and said, Thank you, Di Haoyan. Di Haoyan turned around and looked at her with his deep black eyes. What are you thanking me for? Thanking you for offering incense for my dad. You really want to thank me? Why did she feel that something bad was going to happen when Di Haoyan said that? She just wanted to thank him in a normal way. Could he not be so shrewd? Di Haoyan looked at the defensive look on Tang Bao's face and said jokingly, I won't accept it even if you say so. So, you only accept other forms of gratitude? I'm sorry. Our room can't withstand your torment, Tang Bao said unhappily. I changed the bed. Changed it? My bed was newly bought. I haven't slept on it many times. I looked at it. It's not sturdy enough. I don't want to have to change it again after a few days. A new bed for a few days? How could he have the nerve to say that? Is there nothing else in your mind besides this way of thanking me? Yes. Tang Bao was surprised. There really was something? She thought that he would say no. After all, she knew how passionate Di Hao Yin was in that aspect. Don't leave me. Forever. Tang Bao's long eyelashes fluttered violently. She looked at him with her clear eyes. Di Hao Yin's dark eyes were filled with deep emotions and love. It was a kind of destructive emotion that poured out all of his emotions. Was this another way of thanking her that he wanted? Why was it more shocking than other ways of thanking me and made her unable to come back to her senses? It's such a simple way of thanking me. Tang Bao was speechless and muttered, "Simple my ass. I heard you. I did it on purpose." Chapter 764. Tang Bao really wanted to say, "Is this a question of whether I could do it or not? The problem is clearly with you. Okay?" Why did she say she stayed by his side? Why didn't she say she was forced by him? She said it so matter-of-factly. "I want to sleep here tonight. You go back to the castle first. I'll go over tomorrow." No. Why not? Tang Bao was unhappy. Did she not even have the freedom to stay in the Tang family? "Bring me along, and I'll agree. You really know how to be shameless." "Only to you," Di Hao Hien said, and kissed the little mouth that he had been coveting. In the bungalow, Andy Wong said excitedly to Yu Songhuan, who was eating dinner, "Old madam, the young master is back." "What? When did he come back?" Yu Songhuan was so excited that he stopped eating. "He came back yesterday." "What? You're only telling me now that he came back yesterday?" Yu Songhuan's expression changed. "If news of the young master is so easy to get, wouldn't it be great?" "Old madam, don't worry." Annie Wong comforted her. Yu Songhuan stood up. "He finally knows that he's coming back. I'll go and see him now. Also my two little grandsons." "Old madam, the young master is not in the castle now." "He left again?" No. The young master is in the Tang family now." Yu Songhuan's expression was patient. "He's closer to someone else's father than his own mother." He thought about it and said, "He brought the children to see Grandpa, right?" "That." Annie Wong hesitated. "How many times have I told you? If you have something to say, say it. Where did you learn this bad habit?" "Old madam, I'm afraid that you'll be angry if I say it." "Why not be angry if you don't say it? It's like this. The young master is back, but he didn't bring the two little masters back. Also, he brought back the man who looks like the young madam." Annie Wong felt that she couldn't say it out loud. What? Yu Songhuan was so scared that he stuttered. "That's why I'm hesitating whether I should tell her or not. But if I don't tell her, she'll find out sooner or later." Even when the young master returned to the Tang family, he brought that man with him. What did the young master mean by that? "I don't understand." "You don't understand, but I do. Since the death of the Tang Bao, has he done anything normal?" "Old madam, if the young emperor really does something, we can't stop him. Maybe we should wait and see. After all, he's a man. The young emperor wouldn't really do something so ridiculous." Other than comforting her, Annie Wong couldn't do anything else. Yu Songhuan closed his eyes. She was so annoyed that he was about to faint. She only had one son. Why was he always so troublesome? Tang Bao walked around the room. It was still her room. There was not a speck of dust. She must have cleaned it every day. Her gaze fell on the bed that was similar to the one in the castle. It felt out of place in her room. It was the same logic as wearing clothes from a street stall, but having a branded bag. "Where's my bed? You didn't throw it away, right? If you dare to throw away the bed I bought, I won't play with you." Tang Bao threatened her. "I don't dare. I put it in the room next door." That was more like it. Tang Bao thought for a while. "Why don't you sleep next door? That bed is very comfortable to sleep in." "Is it as cute as you?" Pretend she didn't say anything. After lying in bed at night, Tang Bao started to call the two babies. When she was not around, she called them every night and during the day. She had never left them like this before. They would feel uneasy. "I'll be back the day after tomorrow," Tang Bao said over the phone. "Daddy, we're fine. We'll come back after you're done with your business." "Is it very troublesome?" Tang Bao laughed. He knew the word troublesome. "It's a little troublesome, but don't worry, Daddy will be fine. I believe in Daddy. Is Di Hao Ian there? Bao asked. Di Hao Ian, who was leaning against the head of the bed with Tang Bao, darkened his face. Did they think he couldn't hear them? He's sleeping in his room. Tang Bao pushed Di Hao Ian, who kept coming closer. Okay, anyway, if anything happens to Daddy, I won't let him off, Bao said. Di Hao Ian. Daddy, I'm good at home. Xiao Bao's voice came in. Is that so? How many sweets did you eat during the day? Tang Bao asked with a smile. Daddy, can I lie? Xiao Bao asked pitifully. Do you think you can? No. Tang Bao could imagine Xiao Bao pouting pitifully and held back his laughter. Don't eat too much. You'll be in pain and cry when your teeth change later. I know. My brother only allows me to eat 10 sweets. Tang Bao face-bombed. 10 sweets. She could imagine Xiao Bao begging for sweets and the cold-faced Bao finally giving in. Daddy, why aren't you saying anything? Xiao Bao asked. From tomorrow onwards, you're not allowed to eat so much. Otherwise, I won't buy sweets for you. Then, all right then, Daddy, can I eat some more tonight? I'll eat less from tomorrow onwards. No. Where did she learn this from? Di Hao Ian, who was next to her, began to behave unruly. His patience was gradually wearing thin. She shouldn't have talked to the children for so long and neglected him. Oh, Tang Bao was shocked by the attack and immediately covered her mouth. Daddy, what's wrong with you? Bao asked. Nothing. You guys should go to bed early, okay? Okay. Good night, Daddy. Daddy, mua mua, Xiao Bao shouted. Mua mua, good night. After saying that, Tang Bao quickly hung up the phone and angrily said to Di Hao Ian, Di Hao Ian, what are you doing? Can't you see that I'm on the phone? Di Hao Ian's voice was low and hoarse. It's been too long. It hasn't been that long, right? Let's test the firmness of this place. No, this was his motive. I think it's fine. Di Hao Ian happily kissed her and kissed her wherever she was cute. Di Hao Ian, that's enough. Tang Bao anxiously pulled his hair. She felt that one day she would pull Di Hao Ian's hair until he was bald. Because he did it too often, she pulled his hair too often. Tang Bao seized the opportunity to escape from the dangerous place, the dangerous Di Hao Ian. However, just as her fair foot touched the ground, it was pulled back by Di Hao Ian. Bao, there's no carpet on the floor. You'll catch a cold. Di Hao Ian's voice was low and hoarse as he bit her lips and said humorously, Don't. Tang Bao's body went soft. You're not honest, Di Hao Ian said. Tang Bao's face was red and her breathing was unsteady. She also wanted to know why she was like this. Was there something wrong with her body? Baby, let me kiss you. Chapter 765. The next day, Tang Bao woke up. Really, she wanted to kill someone. He hugged her tightly without giving her any freedom. It was as if she knew how to run away. Where could she run to? You're awake. Di Hao Ian's hoarse voice sounded in her ear. Go away, okay? Her whole body was about to sink into Di Hao Ian's arms. It was as if she was clingy all the time. Now that she was tired all over, she was no longer willing to struggle and just rejected him verbally. Her deterrence was really weak. Even her voice sounded weak. Di Hao Ian looked at her tired and opened his mouth to nibble on her little face. I'll bring you breakfast. No need, I can get up on my own. Before she could finish her sentence, because she moved, the meridians all over her body were pulled and sore. She wanted to scold someone. But what was the use of scolding someone? Didn't Di Hao Ian still do whatever he wanted? You still have strength? Di Hao Ian pressed down on Tang Bao's tormented waist and asked in a hoarse voice, Can I discuss something with you? Say it. Next time, can you not use so much strength? Bao, I've already controlled myself very well. Forget it. You go and bring me breakfast. Tang Bao gave up, because Di Hao Ian's words made her speechless. Compared to the previous 2 times, this time, she had indeed restrained herself. Di Hao Ian kissed her for a long time before he got out of bed, put on his clothes, and went out of the room to bring her breakfast. Tang Bao couldn't help but grimace when she turned over. She felt like she had returned to the past. When Di Hao Yin brought the breakfast, Tang Bao sat up and was about to eat it, but Di Hao Yin avoided her with the breakfast. Tang Bao looked at him in confusion. I'll feed you. I don't think so. I can still carry the bowl. However, Di Hao Yin insisted on feeding her. Tang Bao had no choice but to open her mouth. Everything was the same as before, as if nothing had changed. Is it really like what Di Hao Yin said, that the past and the present are the same? After feeding the Tang Bao, Di Hao Yin started to eat. Tang Bao leaned against the headboard and looked at Di Hao Yin as he ate. Even though he was eating at the small table, he still felt that Di Hao Yin was elegant and cultured. His noble temperament exuded a profound aura that could not be restrained. Di Hao Yin, I want to walk around D City during the day. I'll be alone, Tang Bao said. Di Hao Yin retracted his gaze and did not look up. What are you shopping for? I want to see if there are any changes in Imperial City. Can't I? Not tired? I'll rest in the morning. I'll have lunch with Malay and go shopping in the afternoon. She was tired, but she always felt uneasy when she had something on her mind. In the end, Di Hao Yin agreed. Tang Bao did not return to the castle in the morning. She really rested at the Tang family's house. After being tormented by Di Hao Yin, he definitely needed to recover his vitality. When it was almost noon, she got into Di Hao Yin's car and left the Tang family's house. Tang Bao's heart ached, but she would still come back. She did not need to hide from anyone. Even Di Hao Yin was not afraid of hiding from him, let alone others. When they were in the city center, Tang Bao was let off. The car door was not closed. Di Hao Yin walked out. His tall figure looked down at her. You really don't want me to accompany you? I'm not a 3-year-old child. Why should I accompany you? Besides, I've only left Imperial City for 3 years. I don't think I've changed so much that I can't recognize you, right? I'm leaving. After Tang Bao finished speaking, she did not wait for Di Hao Yin to say anything. She turned around and walked along the road. When she saw a taxi coming, she hailed it and got in. Tang Bao sat in the back seat. She turned around and saw Di Hao Yin still standing there. The distance between them made his face more and more blurry. She only looked away when she could no longer see him. Her body relaxed against the seat. She just wanted to see the place she used to be familiar with and see how Imperial City looked like now. It was not wrong to say that she wanted to reminisce about the city she used to live in. The car stopped outside the entrance of the company. She got out of the car and stood at the door, looking at the company that Tang Qishan had left for her. Without her, the company still operated as usual. There were no mistakes. She believed that even if she left for 10 years, the company would not close down. She was about to enter when she was stopped by the security guard. What's the matter? Can I go in and take a look? Tang Bao thought. She was now disguised as a man, so it was normal that he did not know who she was. Moreover, the security guards were obviously different from 3 years ago. They had long been replaced. Please register. Okay, just as Tang Bao was about to register. Wait a minute, someone beside her said. Tang Bao turned around and saw Yu Lianlian, who was wearing a formal suit but still could not hide her seductiveness. Yu Lianlian walked towards her in her high heels, sizing her up. You are Tang Gu. Yu Lianlian definitely did not recognize Tang Bao. Until now, the only people who could recognize Tang Bao were Di Hao Yin and Gu Linshan. Those two were not normal people. Naturally, others would not be like them. Tang Bao was surprised that she was so familiar with the entertainment industry. Seeing that Tang Bao was in a daze, she smiled and said, Sorry, I've seen the video on the internet before. I've seen you before. Although you look more handsome in real life, you can't hide from me. I know you too. Although you left the entertainment industry, there are still legends about you. Ah ha ha, you're so interesting. It makes me happy too. Yu Lianlian said to the security guard, There's no need to register. I'll bring her in. I'm not going in, Tang Bao suddenly said. Don't you want to go in? By the way, who are you looking for? Don't worry. I'll help you no matter who you're looking for. Who asked me to hit it off with you? Maybe it's someone from the entertainment industry, Yu Lianlian said in a good mood. I just remembered that she took leave today and didn't come to work. I'll get going first. After Tang Bao finished speaking, She smiled politely at Yu Lian and turned to leave. Yu Lian looked at her back and muttered, "She's quite a character. Why doesn't she become a celebrity with such a face? Why does she want to be a manager? What a pity." Yu Lian went upstairs and bumped into Wan Malay when she entered the washroom. "Do you know who I saw just now?" "Who?" Wan Malay asked. "Tangu. It's the famous manager in the video I showed you last time." "What?" Wan Malay was stunned. "I don't know who she was looking for, but she left again." "Left?" "Yeah." Wan Malay turned and ran out of the washroom like the wind. She pressed the elevator button anxiously. Why did Tang Bao come back? Why was there no sound at all when he came back? Oh my God, what was the use of having a boyfriend like Ju? He didn't tell her anything. Wasn't it too boring? Didn't he know that this was how he could coax his girlfriend? Chapter 766. She hurriedly took out her phone and called Tang Bao. The call went through. "Tang Bao, you're at the company?" "Yes, but I bumped into Yu Lian. I didn't want to complicate things, so I left. Come to the castle tonight. F***CK. If I didn't hear from Yu Lian that you were coming, you wouldn't have told me, right? Are you trying to cut ties with me?" Wan Malay was furious. No. I'll cut ties with anyone but you. I was thinking of going to the company to see you when no one saw me, but I didn't expect to bump into Yu Lian. Have you eaten? I can have a second meal. Wan Malay had just finished speaking when a taxi stopped in front of them. Wan Malay bent down to take a look. Tang Bao was sitting inside. Wan Malay put away her phone and asked, "Why are you back? You might not believe me, but I was about to call you. Then wait for me. I'll go upstairs to get my bag." Wan Malay hurriedly ran upstairs with her bag and was about to go downstairs when she was stopped by Yu Lian. "Why are you so flustered? I have something to do. I need to go out for a while." "You had such a big reaction when you heard Tangu. Are you going to enter the entertainment industry? Tell me if you want to. I guarantee that you'll be famous. I'd better stay in my own place. I'm not going to enter the entertainment industry. Bye." Wan Malay said and ran away. After they got into the car, Wan Marai asked impatiently as soon as the car started, "Why are you back? Did you contact Lolita during the 3 years I was away?" Tang Bao asked. "I did, but I couldn't get through to her phone. I thought that she might be busy with her studies, so I didn't contact her again after several failed attempts." "Why are you asking this?" Tang Bao sighed. "I feel very guilty." "What's the matter?" "During the 3 years I was away, Di Haotian imprisoned Lolita. She was locked in a castle for 3 years without freedom. It was like being in prison, but the cell was more luxurious." "What? Young Master D?" Wan Malay was extremely surprised. No wonder no one picked up when I called him. But I don't need to be too surprised. After calming down, Wan Malay said, "Young Master D has done a lot of crazy things because of your disappearance. But Gu Linshin must have been furious at that time, right? Didn't he fight with the young master? I've never heard of it. It seemed like Ju was hiding a lot of things from her. He couldn't do anything to Di Haotian, even if he beat him up. Locking up Luoli meant that his life was in his hands. Gu Linshin had no other choice. I'm sure Gu Linshin has been looking for me for the past 3 years, but Di Haotian beat him to it," Tang Bao guessed. "I don't think so. What is it?" "I know that he's been sending women to Di Haotian for the past 3 years, and he's especially picking those who look like you." Tang Bao looked at her blankly. There was actually such a thing. Then Di Haotian should be living a comfortable life, right? Why did he look like he only wanted her? Was he playing with her? Don't be angry. The young master definitely won't accept it. How do you know he won't accept it? Also, why do you say that I'm angry? Tang Bao asked fiercely. I guessed. Your guess is not accurate. I just feel that he shouldn't hide it from me. Whatever it is, it's what it is. If he really has something with that woman, do you think I'll settle the score with him? Who would dare? Wan Malay looked at Tang Bao's long face and thought, if this is not angry, then what is angry? I'll take you to the harbor to take a look, Wan Malay said. Why should I go? It's very far. Tang Bao looked out of the car window, as if he didn't want to face it. Don't you want to see what the harbor looks like now? Tang Bao didn't say anything. After hearing Wan Malay's words, he felt that it wasn't a big deal to go and take a look. The car arrived at the harbor. They got out of the car. Tang Bao stood where the beach was supposed to be. The sand was still there, but in front of him was not the green water of the harbor. Instead, it was a huge pit with no end in sight. There wasn't even any mud. After years of exposure to the sun, people could walk and play on it. At this moment, there was a group of children playing with balls on it. Seeing it with his own eyes was definitely shocking. Tang Bao looked at the harbor that had been drained of water. If there wasn't this water, could it still be called a harbor? Wan Malay stood at the side and said, "Back then, in order to find you, the young master got people to pump the water, and he stood where we are now and stared at the sea. Do you know? He actually stood here for 2 days and 2 nights without eating or drinking. It was Gu Linshin who knocked him out and brought him back. At that time, he looked as if he had lost his soul. Other than Gu Linshin, no one dared to go up and say anything. Actually, baby, if it wasn't for the young master's amnesia, why would there be so many setbacks? I think after the storm, there should be a rainbow, right?" "You're right. It touched my heart deeply. But Malay, is it really that easy to accept it? It's not like you don't know what happened to me in the past." "Yes, I know. I know your pain even more. But that was because I had no choice. Don't you want to give yourself a chance? Look, the young master doesn't want anything. He doesn't even care about tea and insists on going to Boiling City with you. Aren't you touched?" Tang Bao glanced at her. "If he doesn't go to Boiling City, I'm already satisfied and happy to take care of my 2 children. Is this what people say? When you have children, your husband has to stand aside. Something like that. But you have to think about the children. I've already said that. Let's talk about it in the future. I don't know why, but when it comes to this, I have a headache." Tang Bao sighed. "You have a headache? Why don't you think about it? Who else would do such a thing besides you? You even dressed as a woman. I really have to hand it to you. Fortunately, the young master is powerful. Otherwise, where would we find you? Everyone must have thought that you were dead." Tang Bao looked at the huge pit in front of him and heaved a deep sigh of relief. He said, "Let's go and eat. I'm hungry too." Before leaving, Tang Bao looked at the harbor pit again. This was really unsightly. It was perfectly fine, but it was ruined just like that. The 2 of them chose a familiar restaurant to eat. Tang Bao said, "I remember that you treated me to a meal here before. Now, I'll treat you to a meal. It's not easy. You finally know to treat me to a meal." Tang Bao smiled and didn't say anything. "By the way, are you not leaving after you come back? I'm only back to stay for a few days. I still have to go back to Boiling City." "Why must you go back? Isn't the entertainment in Imperial City better than in Boiling City?" "Boiling City can't compare to those entertainment companies." Tang Bao thought for a moment. "Maybe I'll come back at any time." "Really? You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.